What was the last question?
Also, dating status?
I'm single.
Okay. Education level, highest?
High school.
All right. And I think that's pretty much it.
Where are you from originally?
New York.
Cool.
New York.
All right.
See you. Welcome.
Awesome.
My name is Kyla. I am 28. My job right now, I'm kind of in between. So I was previously running a mental health initiative for the government of Alberta up in Canada, if you don't know what Alberta is. Now I'm doing kind of Twitch and YouTube content, and I'm looking at some contracts for psychometrics and kind of data tech. So that's where I'm at for jobs. I'm married. Is that it? Damn. I think I covered.
How long have you been married for?
4 years.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. And then highest education level completed?
I have a graduate diploma in psychometrics. So that's like a bachelor's plus a graduate diploma. Not quite a master's, not quite a bit more than a bachelor's.
Okay.
Impressive.
And then, and you said you're originally from Canada?
Yeah.
Alberta?
I'm from Alberta, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Shout out to Canada, man.
All right. What about you? Well, no, not you, MJ. Nobody cares about you. No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to that guy, MJ.
Just
what about you?
Yeah, I'm Melina. I'm from Sweden. I'm married to this guy right here.
Okay.
Hey.
I'm 24 and I live stream on Twitch pretty much.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay.
Cool. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I didn't recognize you with the blue hair.
And
No?
I'm sure Chris is happy about this.
Yeah, Chris is the Miami forehead,
All right.
isn't it?
So early.
Yeah, I am actually a Miami forehead.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then highest education level completed, bachelor's degree, master's, high school.
High school.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
All right. What about you?
I'm Taylor. I'm 22. I'm single. I'm a financial advisor. And my high school diploma is as high as I went. So I just sat for the state boards.
You can do any better? I'm just kidding.
Hey, I think I'm doing pretty good.
I'm just kidding.
And where are you originally from?
Tallahassee.
Okay, so you're from Florida.
Red flag.
Okay.
Red flag, bro.
Tallahassee.
Red flag. Oh, God.
And then where are you from originally, by the way?
Me?
Yeah.
Sweden.
Sweden.
You were right. Okay.
Yes,
cool.
I'm
That's where you went to high
Swedish.
school. Okay. Because some people will be like, their nationality is Sweden, but they grew up in the United States.
Yeah,
so I
it's
wasn't
really
sure.
dumb. I don't know why people do that.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Stupid of me.
Okay, so we got you. All right, what about you?
Hi, I'm Frankie. I'm from Philadelphia. Go Birds. And I'm 27.
You got talking to the mic real quick.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, so I'm 27 from Philadelphia. I work at Harley Davidson and I'm a bartender.
There's no one there.
At Booze Garden in Fort Lauderdale. And my highest degree is high school.
Okay. Single, relationship, married, sugar daddy.
I am single and not looking at all.
Okay. Oh, okay. So
Stop the cap.
Hello? Okay. Yeah. Cool.
all right. So not the looking at all. Okay, sure.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Here you go.
And you said you're originally from Philly. Okay,
Yes.
cool. Like Philadelphia for
Like-
real, or like Drexel Hill?
No. South Philadelphia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Born and
Italian.
raised.
Yeah, I'm Italian. My family has a pizzeria in New Jersey. And
Okay. True tri-state area in the house.
In the
Fantastic. Yeah. What's up, Philadelphia?
days.
Born and raised. I spent most of my days. Okay. All right. What about you?
My name's Angela. I'm from Tampa. I'm 27. I have a salon.
You own it?
I own a salon.
Okay.
Salt company, a podcast, and what was the other question?
Highest education level completed?
High
Body
school.
Okay. And then relationship status?
In a relationship.
How long you been?
2 years.
Cool. And then where are you originally from? Oh, no, Tampa, right?
Yeah.
So Tampa? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Cool. Welcome.
What about you?
Hi, I'm Lexi. I'm 26. I'm a tattoo artist, if you can't tell. And I do some work in the adult industry. And I'm from Philly.
So you do some prawns? You do prawn
Grabs
videos?
the mic.
Are you the cameraman?
More like OnlyFans stuff, but
Okay.
yes,
I don't know. I wanted to see more of your tats. That's why.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm from Philly.
Okay. I'm assuming you're friends with her?
That's my bestie.
Yeah, we grew up together.
Cool.
Okay. Out of you two, who's the most trouble?
I don't know.
Me. I'm always the worst influence. But we
Damn.
have a good time. It's always like
Yeah.
safe, crazy fun.
I'm sure you do.
And,
Yeah.
and you said you're single?
Yeah.
Okay. And originally from Philly? Cool.
Yes.
And the highest education level completed?
High school.
Cool. All right. On to the couch. We'll start with Miss Brown Top.
Hello. My name's Ashley.
Uh-huh.
I went to college, made it sophomore year, then canceled out.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
Okay.
Yep.
What do you do for work?
I'm a singer. I've been singing my whole life.
Okay.
You're a
Also
singer.
TikTok. I am.
Can you do like a quick snippet for us
Oh, Jesus, Crystal.
on the spot? We got you.
No.
What? You can't do
Give
it?
me some time.
You know you want to sing
Give
to
me
us.
something.
then.
Give me
You
a
can't
little
be a
something.
You tell me you're a singer.
Sing Many Men by 50 Cent.
Random song. All right.
Maybe a little special effect later. I'll leave it till the end.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So 22 singer, single relationship.
Single.
Okay. And then where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Miami, Florida.
Okay.
Another red flag.
I'll take it.
And then highest education level completed was high school, so you dropped out of college, right?
I went to college for sophomore year until sophomore, then I dropped out.
Okay. All right. So cool. I think that's good right there. And then what about you in the middle?
My name's Anna,
Okay.
and I am a small business manager, and I am 22 years old.
Okay.
And my highest degree is a bachelor's degree, and I just graduated.
Okay. Where'd you get your bachelor's in?
Business management.
Okay. Where'd you do it at?
Warner University.
Where?
Warner University. It's kind of near Lakeland. It's in Lake Wales,
Okay.
Florida.
All right.
Kind of like Central Florida.
Oh, with the hillbillies in Lakeland. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It was nowhere. I called it like nowhere.
Okay. And then single relationship.
Single.
Okay. Cool. And where are you originally from?
Tallahassee.
You're from Tallahassee as well.
Red flag.
Okay.
Telling us.
Are you guys friends with the two Tallahassee girls?
The three of those chicks.
Yeah. there's-
Oh, okay. Y'all came to get. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. All right. What about
All
you?
right. My name is Carrie Blackmore. I'm originally from Reno, Nevada. I'm single and I model and I'm starting a lingerie company. And I also just got my real estate license.
Okay.
I'm 32.
Okay.
We're 32.
Yeah, I know. A grandma. And then I just moved to Miami about 8 months ago.
Oh shit, she's corrupted now.
Red
I
flag.
know.
She's
I
been
know.
here for a while.
Yes. Not too much time.
Okay. Reno, Nevada, single. Okay, and highest education level completed for you?
High school.
All right, cool. All right, cool. And then introduce
guest.
the special guest in the house. We can start with
MJ.
With MJ.
What's good with y'all, man? MJ Get Right, YouTuber, Red Pill Pharmacist, aka Coochie Whisperer.
Body count.
I don't even know. I'm being so real though.
Destiny.
Fair enough.
Yeah, youtube.com/Destiny. I do left-wing politics, blue pill guy.
I love that. What about you, SNEAKO?
I'm a misogynist, problematic, toxic, canceled SNEAKO. And you can find me on thecreativitykit.com. That's where I am going to go once they take all my platforms.
Fantastic.
Smash Show's defeated.
Okay.
You're fine, bro. You're fine.
All right, so
be good.
We're gonna actually switch this up. So I'm gonna actually have the ladies,
Yes.
okay, go ahead and kick it off with the questions. Normally we ask a bunch of questions and put the girls in compromising
Hot
situations,
seats.
catch them in certain situations. So we're gonna turn it to the ladies. So ladies, whoever wants to go first, I will, just let me know and then we'll have you go. I'll read the chats. So please have good questions ready to go. All right. So we got here, and we already got, 10,000 live viewers?
Yeah.
All right, so we already got 10,000 live viewers, guys. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to read all the chats that came in so far. From this point forward, I'm going to only read 50 and up, okay, guys? Just that way so we can keep the show going and not too many interruptions. Thank you guys for all donations. However, every single donation that comes through is going to be shown on screen. We're just going to read 50 and up. So if you want to ask a question or whatever to the panel, go ahead and shoot a question in, and we got y'all.
Black screen.
Besides Chris fucking up in the back. Let's go ahead and pull these things up real fast. All right, we got $2 from BBL Refund Department. Goes, shout out to Pinhead Larry Pogson, best producer. Okay.
BBL Refund Department.
Greenhouse Vision goes, breaking all the records they thought never could be broke. Muchas gracias for everything y'all do. Shout out to Rod Eric, Big Mo, Soles, Alvidan, El Memo, Crayer, and Big Mo, porque SOS El Mo.
Don't forget the memo.
I butchered that one.
Don't forget the memo to believe in Big Mo because that is the MO.
Oh, and then Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
We got Rod Eric.
We do got Rod Eric in the house, man. Shout out to FNF Dallas. He's in the back chilling, showing some love. So shout out to him. We got I'm Hotep the Third, all the way from South Africa. Goes, broke boys don't deserve no pussy. I agree, but now why should a guy who is now attractive to women, money, status, and shape, be monogamous? That's a good question, my friend. That will probably come up during this discussion. $2 from Deep Dish Pizza goes, 3 or 4s be shared and dipped in ranch more than me. God damn. Okay. Success Chaser goes $50. Hi, FNF. I work at a very good paying job and I'm using the money to invest, but I have a female coworker who keeps flirting with me. How do I get her to stop? Because I don't like hooking up with coworkers too much. Risk also, my boss is female as well. You don't entertain her, bro. Very simple.
HR.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Flip it back on.
That's what MJ be doing.
If you go first, you're the winner.
When MJ worked at the bank, he reported all the chicks for hand on him.
Definitely.
Alvin Sam, but Myron, women are not cars. How dare you? Yeah, that's what always happens. 5-star sports betting goes, who is a single mother / not with the child's father? Okay, anyone here, mom?
Who's kids?
No one here has kids? No one?
Wow, we live in the party.
Single dad. Anyone on the couch? No one's a mom?
No, mom. No.
Okay.
Are we partying then?
I mean, our roommate kind of is our child.
Okay, I guess.
I had a dog. That's about it.
Icy's alone, I guess. Okay. Shout out to Icy in the back. Part of my soul dies every time Fresh reads the super chats. Matter of fact, go ahead, Fresh. Read a couple of these.
All right. O'Neill Alcon, $2 says, Fresh. Girls plus high value men equal dating show. Check out Pineapple Show. Okay. Spirit Gunner Sing Gang says, don't decline hospitality water or it's a war. Okay. Jeffrey Shelton, $10 says, question for the ladies. How many adult women do you know that haven't spoke about being cheated on? Then why are you so surprised when it happens to you? That's a very good question. Oh God. Fresh to BBC. Myron, you can read this, bro. This is kind of weird for me to read this.
You can't talk about your own dick.
Okay. Which one? Okay. Fresh BBC. Okay. Fresh The male to female ratio in the room right now is looking a little sus. I can't do my magic and spit game to a hot babe while there's a bunch of dudes. Oh, actually, never mind. We have a Rolls Royce. We're good. Continue on. This snicker, bro. That's Fresh's penis, by the way, guys. That's why it's pitch black.
That's so weird. Who does that, bro?
Happy. Yeah, apparently your penis made its own YouTube account. The panel is straight 10s on the pH scale. Anybody have a rebuttal to him talking shit about y'all?
Oh, wow.
Okay, I think he's trying to say that you guys are basic. Caitlyn Jenner, $2. BBL refund department. Thank you. Rusty Shackelford goes, Red Top is about to get roasted tonight. Chat is going to make her castle herself when these super chats start rolling in. She's on outside. Shoes on outside. Actually, she's pretty pleasant, guys. When can we get Andrew Tate back on the show? Resistance Slave Mine, $20 for Myron, original African American. Thank you so much.
Who knows? We might have a surprise for you.
Yeah, we might have a surprise for y'all, but I think he'll be here at the end of the year, guys. Chase Moore, W panel tonight. Destiny SNEAKO combo is wholesome. Shout out to the ladies on the show, Discord gang. Thank you. Greece in the Netherlands. Scorpio sucks. Taurus rocks. Okay, all the way from Europe, and that's from Leak My Bowls. That is his name. Waleed Osman goes, Myron, what's the difference between you and Fresh on a dating? At least 3 differences. It's good to see Destiny and SNEAKO back. Welcome to Miami. Okay. All right, and then I think we got a couple more here. Okay, ladies, would you say it's disrespectful for your man to like other women's bikini pics on social media, or even go as far as considering it cheating? And if so, why? Want to run around the table on that one? Okay, so we'll go ahead and start with the couch. Miss Reno, Nevada.
Yes.
Do you think it is cheating for a guy to like a girl's bikini pictures on social media?
I think if he's in a relationship, it's just disrespectful. So yes, I think so.
Okay. What about you? In the middle?
I feel like it's probably okay at a certain point, but as long as there's not contact, then it's fine. Like everybody's gonna like people's pictures.
Okay, so you're cool with it?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
It's Instagram. That's what it's made for.
Social media.
So 2 girls are okay with it. Okay.
I think it depends on like the relationship between the two also.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to say for me, I'm going to go cheating just because if you wouldn't be okay with me posting it, like if you wouldn't want me posting it for other guys to see, I feel like you shouldn't be liking other girls' pictures that you wouldn't want me posting. So I feel like I'm going to say that's cheating. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
Absolutely not.
You don't think it's cheating?
No.
Okay. What about you?
I think it's cheating.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Why so?
Because I think that when guys sit in a room, there's a bunch of guys. You guys are usually looking at women. Y'all just scroll with your dicks. It's really nothing. No, you guys don't think about it when you guys do it. So it's really nothing. But for females, it's more of like it goes into depth. So for me, for women in specifics, it's cheating. When you get that reciprocation from a guy. So when you post bikini pics and they see all that, it's definitely cheating. I'm not a fan of it personally.
So even though you said it that you think for guys it's just like they're just liking it, it's not a big deal, you still think it's cheating?
I'm not a fan of it. That's why I don't date anyone who has social media.
Okay. All right. Oh, even a guy?
Yeah, I'm not. If I don't do it, you're not doing it.
Interesting. Okay. What about you?
Do you have social media?
Yeah.
So-
I don't post bikini pics.
Wait, what the fuck?
Wait. What? I thought you said you don't date guys that don't do social media.
I just caught
I don't.
But why do you have it?
But you
then?
have it.
Because I actually have a business that involves it.
So I can't have a business?
I didn't stop you. I don't fuck with you.
That's not me. That's that
difference.
nigga.
What if I have a business and I have a social media account doing the same thing you're doing?
Then I wouldn't date you.
Oh,
so why should someone date you?
Because if you choose me, then I choose you. But if you don't want it, it's okay. I'm okay with not fucking with someone. Like if I was done with my business, I give myself 2 years. After 2 years, I'm done with this. I have zero ties to social media. I don't care about it.
Question for you. Is your because you said you run a salon, is like the pictures predominantly like clients and pictures of your salon and nails and stuff like that and hair?
I have multiple accounts. So it's like the salt business, the podcast account, my personal account, and the salon. So for me, I have to be on social media.
So you have like 3 or 4. So you would not date a man who's on social media?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. All right.
And my personal, like if you go through my Instagram, you look at my likes, it's none but chicks. I don't like dudes. My explore pages, like food and shit. Like I go out of my way not to do that. So if I have the discipline to not do it, and I'm fucking with someone who doesn't have social media, I just think it's fair. And if he's cool with it, that's fine. But I'm not going to demand. I'm not going to go out and be like, yo, I need you to do that.
Okay. Yeah, she'll cut off your egg roll.
Wait. That's a long spring roll. But listen, real talk. So you just said like if the guy does a business, like we're YouTubers, okay, we got social media. That's
See,
what we do.
respectfully, like I don't fuck with someone who has like that type of business. Like my boyfriend doesn't do social media because his business is not like that. I respect that. That's your business. Okay. My business also is that. I don't get it. What's the question?
No, I'm saying like you just said you don't do social media, but you're justifying why you have it. Like if that guy had that same standard of you, and he was like, "Why you got social media?" You're like, "It's my business."
I know that.
He'd be like, "All right, bet."
But
so you wouldn't do the same thing for the guy that has the business and he has social media. You would just be like, "Nah, period."
I'm upfront about it. I'm like, "Listen, this is my shit. This is my criteria. Nobody has to fuck with me."
I'm saying, but answer it yes or no.
What is the yes or no question? I don't get what you're trying to say.
I asked you if a guy has a business that literally coincides with social media and he has it.
Are you going to be okay with that?
Yeah, obviously. I think like
that's not obviously. That's not what you were saying.
It is obvious because I feel like there's people don't realize that if the guy has, you can tell when someone's a fuckboy. You're on there just scrolling doing dumb shit, but if it's business, that's different. It's obvious.
But what if your business is
I think the distinction wasn't clear because like it came off. I think everyone here at the table can agree that like we all interpreted that as if he has social media, I don't give a fuck what it is. I'm not fucking with him. But you're saying if it's for business purposes,
you can tell when someone's on social media and they're not really on social media.
So the exception is if it's for their business to generate revenue, you understand.
It's obvious.
Okay. All right. That's where the confusion kind of came. Yeah, you didn't really. Everyone here was kind of confused. So okay, we get it.
What's wrong with YouTubers?
I don't see nothing wrong with YouTubers.
You said that you personally wouldn't fuck with a YouTuber.
No, people who have YouTube. Let's say you have YouTube.
Yeah,
then you have your Instagram. Let's say not you, but whoever else. They'll have like their body pics, their car pics. Like that's you flexing on what you make money from. That's cool. That's what you do.
Right.
I don't judge that. Not at all. That's just not my type.
Okay.
So what?
Hold on. So when I DM'd you, what do you think?
Uh-oh.
I didn't think anything. That's your business.
Okay.
The Rolls Royce didn't work.
No, hold on. Because Eric DM'd her too to come on the show. So, but yeah, okay, cool. All right.
That's okay. All right.
Shout out to Eric.
All right. So that's just her preferences. She doesn't like guys on social media.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so I am like the polar opposite of all of that. Because I be liking having threesomes and shit. So I'm like, damn, she got some nice ass titties, like up on that shit. Like.
So it's not cheating for you, I guess.
I lived in Vegas for 3 years. So like originally from Philadelphia, everybody's very closed-minded, right?
Uh-huh.
So like when you're in Philly, a lot of people are haters. A lot of people are like, oh, like her man did this, whatever the fuck. Like everybody out there is like, they're kind of like fake as fuck. And they're also trying to like get on top of you.
Okay.
When I moved out to Vegas, I realized like everybody... Oh, when I moved out to Vegas, is this better?
Yeah.
When I moved out to Vegas, I realized that everybody out there is a lot more chill.
Okay.
You know, you're kind of like pointed out if you're the one that's like talking shit, right? Because in Vegas, a lot more people are like open relationship, polyamorous, whatever works for them.
So for you, like liking pictures is nothing. Then
nothing
like,
at all. It's literally like every single relationship, every person's going to have their boundaries and respect. It's all about open communication. What works for you, what works for me ain't going to work for y'all.
Okay.
So out there, I learned that I really needed to like calm myself down and like open my mind. And then I kind of realized like, you know, like my first kiss was with a girl. And I used to like hide that. And then like I got a boyfriend and like out there, I was like, you know what? Like I want to have some fun. Like, because I'm confident. Like I know what I bring to the table. So if you want to be a jerk and go behind my back and cheat on me, then you're the one that's missing out because most chicks ain't cool like that.
Okay.
Wait, you're single, right?
Yes.
Makes sense.
Okay. What about you?
All my relationships were good. It's me that just like wants to have fun right now. You know, a little gypsy moving around.
I got
you. Free spirit. What about you? Is it cheating if a guy likes pictures of girls in bikinis?
In the past, I would have said yes, but like in my 20s, I'm realizing I don't think so. Just because I think that we all can agree that when you walk down the street and you see somebody attractive, you address that you think they're attractive, whether you say it out loud or you say it in your head. As long as you're not making personal contact to disrespect your partner. Does that make sense?
All right. Yeah.
It gets kind of touchy, but I guess it just depends on the couple and what has happened in your relationship or whatever. But I don't think a like will make the situation a cheating situation. But if it starts getting one-on-one, a little more personal than I think.
All right. What about you? If Destiny started liking chicks' pictures.
I mean, he fucks other women.
Okay. So that's a no for you.
Love you.
That's a no for you.
Or if you want my honest answer, I think a relationship is a contract. And if you break the rules, you cheat. no matter what it is. If you have agreed on something and you do the opposite, it's cheating.
Depends on the I guess.
Yeah, depends on what the
agreement
contract
before.
is. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think.
What about you, Alberta? What's your thoughts on that? Is it cheating if a guy likes bikini pictures?
So like in my relationship, no. I would agree with Melina that you can like establish a contract.
Okay.
I just wouldn't recommend that contract for most couples, but like if you do you, if you want to like say no bikini pics for anything, but yeah, that wouldn't be something I would implement.
You wouldn't recommend that they allow their guy to do it, or you would recommend that?
I wouldn't recommend making that like an established boundary in your relationship. I think there's better non-negotiables to make.
Okay. All right. So that's like fighting over like some pennies, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I don't think it's cheating. I think that it does come with a level of respect. So I wouldn't be liking pictures of guys if I'm with someone, and I wouldn't want him liking pictures of girls. But it also comes down to you being confident in yourself and secure with yourself and your relationship.
Okay.
But I don't think it's cheating. I just would hope that my partner wouldn't do it. Because I think once you put a like or a DM, you're engaging in something. A like, when you like something, you're trying to get someone's attention.
Okay.
So I like everyone else is kind of agreeing. Just don't do it.
I have a question for ladies. Do you think social media facilitates cheating more from the female perspective or from the male perspective? And I'll start here and then work our way back around.
Nowadays, I think women are just as bad as men, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But if you had to pick one,
I think women.
Women?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah. Probably easier for women because they're going to be getting hit up a lot more. Yeah.
Okay.
You're just going to have men casting wide nets. So yeah.
Okay.
greater
So you think
exposure.
women are more okay?
Yeah, I basically agree.
Women?
What you're saying. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a red pill panel.
What about you?
Women.
Straight up.
Women?
Definitely.
Okay.
Women?
What
Yeah,
about you?
chicks. Yeah.
Okay.
Women.
Okay.
They're all gonna agree now.
Yeah, no, definitely. I was gonna
We're
say
all
women.
gonna agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
might
women.
as
I would
well.
say I think women can get
Yeah,
away
there
with
you
it
go.
a little bit easier.
Okay. And then what about you in the middle?
Yeah, I feel
Women?
like we definitely push a little bit more. We
Yeah.
push more like
100%.
Is this universal women?
I agree too.
yeah.
This is the craziest panel I've ever seen, man.
Shit. Yo,
I mean, women
for the
post
fellas though,
for
real quick,
attention most.
MJ, if your girl look at other guys' pictures, is that cheating for you?
If she's liking it,
Yeah, like it.
hell the fuck yeah. You mean to tell me? Come on now, because I would. It's my thing is like if I'm doing something, if I'm restricting myself from all of this out here, and you can't respect and do the same thing, like that's boom, you're done.
Okay. Destiny?
So obviously we're open, so we don't give a fuck. But
People.
what? This is something that it's kind of weird because I feel like I have a more traditional view on this. I've said this before, and people get really mad. In my opinion, on social media, if you reach out to engage, then there's like a reason. So if you're in like a traditional relationship and you are monogamous and nobody's fucked around, I don't know why you would be liking like sexy pics on social media. I super don't understand. I know a lot of people said they were okay with it, but I don't know. Like, I can understand liking like friend pictures. If you've got like a friend group, maybe there'll be like a girl in a bikini who's like out with friends, like going whatever. But if you're just liking like random like sexy girl pictures on Instagram or sexy guy pictures and you're like in a monogamous relationship, I don't know why you'd ever do that. Like, you can look at stuff and appreciate it, but as soon as you start engaging, I think that was the word used, as soon as you start engaging, like adding likes or especially like DMing, I just don't know what the reason is other than, I don't know if guys will admit it or not, but there's like some like secret cope in the back of their head that maybe one of these girls will notice or some shit, or you can like reach out at some point. That's what I feel like. Like when people reach out on social media or engage, it's for a reason.
Okay.
That's a good point. Zico?
I want to say that it's cheating, but at the end of the day, I think that I'd agree that it's pennies. I think it's going to happen regardless. And I think it's more important to get angry at other stuff that's more blatant. Like, it's like if I consider that cheating, then I would have been broken up.
Yeah, I think a woman liking a picture or engaging is way worse than a guy engaging on Instagram or social media. I think that this might be controversial. Hit me with the sound effect real quick, Chris. I think the threshold for a female to commit an act of infidelity is far easier to break than for a man. And the reason why I say that is because sex is way easier for women to come by. So since sex is easy to come by for women, I mean, a natural byproduct of that is it's easier for you to cheat as well. I think for women, the threshold is way easier. Like, it's because the thing is that a lot of girls like to use the male metric of cheating. Like, okay, I didn't fuck him, so I didn't cheat. I would argue you cheated way before that. As soon as you start to entertain another individual or give him attention or whatever it may be, because women show their affection differently than men do, right? Women tend to do it from an emotional standpoint, from a communication standpoint, cognitive standpoint, versus for men it's physical. So as soon as a woman starts to entertain a man, or even if a woman puts herself in a light where she's trying to entertain other suitors with putting sexy pictures of herself, I would argue that is cheating, because that is how women flirt. Men flirt by overtly communicating, hey, I like you, I think you're attractive, I want to hit on you. Women flirt by, let me wear a red dress and put myself in a certain position where men will approach me. No offense.
I feel like if you're in a restaurant and you see somebody hot or pretty, your guy or girl, like I think you can notice that and think like, okay, they're hot, they're cute, whatever. And I think that's okay. Everybody does that. If you don't accept that, you've got problems. Everybody does that.
Yeah.
But walking up to that person and saying like, hey, you're hot, or hey, you're really cute, or whatever, I think that's a different thing. And that's the difference to me on social media. Like when you're liking a picture, you're like making a choice to engage with it. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with looking at something on social media. But if you're a guy and a girl, why do you have to like the picture? That just seems, if you're in like a traditional relationship, I don't know why you would ever do that.
So,
like why even start with that?
I've studied Instagram for like 5 years, right? And it's funny because engagement is very important. So regarding relationship, for example, a man and woman, I look at it as like a closed door policy. Let's say, for example, we're together, right? Like, let's say me and you, and we have an agreement where I'm only dealing with you, you're only dealing with me, and you like another guy's picture. This means, for example, when you lay a picture, he may say to himself, you know what? She might be into me. I'm gonna hit her up or DM her, which leaves an open door policy. So I'm just saying, like, if you start that interaction, it may lead to more, which may end in your relationship. So you never know.
So going back to the example that you gave, Destiny, I think that valid, right? The guy is approaching the woman, but my argument is that the woman rarely approaches, if ever. Most women don't approach men.
Yeah,
let's
it's
be
rare.
honest.
But I'm saying, why would you even do it? Like, what's the point? I just don't know
As a
why.
guy?
Yeah,
As a guy?
Yeah. Like, why would you, or if you were a woman, why would you tolerate your guy liking like sexy pictures on Instagram? Like, you can look at him and you can like them personally, but why would you actually push the heart?
I guess that would come into like having that that boundary up front, like, you know, because most guys, they want to exercise options and have other girls, just that they don't have the balls to tell them.
Disagree with all bullshit, bro. Yeah, as long as it's a fucking contract, right? As long as it's fun. Let's be honest here, right? Unless you're like on the same city or the fucking same country or something, it's porn. It's just softcore porn. I'm looking at Instagram titties and Instagram ass. I'm looking at softcore porn. That is it. It doesn't go over that. Like if a person can watch porn, a person can watch Instagram titties. And double tapping that Instagram titties does not make a difference to me at all. And that's just something so fucking icky to fucking argue about. But we're gonna sit and slide into the DMs and all that bullshit. I guess that's kind of like, huh? Why the fuck are you doing that? Because most of the people, especially on Instagram, on fucking TikTok or whatever the fuck, that shit is like muscle memory. Is like, oh, I see something nice. Double tap, double tap, double tap. Most people hardly see the content, right? So the double tap comes automatic. So people criticize, oh, you double tapping, bruh. Not that big a deal.
Their girl that because their value isn't high enough to dictate that. So that's the truth. But most guys do want to have more than one woman. It's just the problem is that most guys can't actually pull it off. I would say overtly, at least they have to do it covertly, like, oh, you're the only one. Right. Meanwhile, they're having sex with other chicks, but they can't tell their girl that because if they tell that, like, you motherfucker, you're a bum. You barely got me. What the hell? You have the audacity to cheat on me? Versus you're an attractive multimillionaire. I'm going to have sex with other women. Well, then at that point, she's got to really make a hard decision. Yeah. Am I going to lose this guy who's a 1%er, less than 1%er, for my ego, or am I going to tolerate him having sex with other women, but I'm the main girl? And I think a lot of girls, if your value's high enough, will share you.
So then the answer is you can like the pictures, but have a secret Instagram account to do it. That's what we're really saying.
Why? That's what we're really saying. Personally, I tell guys not to like girls' pictures. I think that's one of the worst things you can do as a guy.
Validation for no reason at all.
Yeah, she didn't earn it. Like, shoot a DM or whatever, but like liking her girls' pictures, I think is very
DM,
stupid.
that's even farther. Now you're like in the, I hope she responds to me. Now
yeah. But I mean, as like, don't give her like that validation, like overtly, like, hey, you just make a direct message. I think you're attractive. What's your number? Whatever it may be. And if she declines it, then whatever.
Yo, you know what girls do, bro? They're like 3 photos of your profile.
Girls,
and a comment, and then that's how you respond to them. It's like, okay, cool. She's into me. I'm gonna respond to her.
Yeah. Why do you draw the line at likes though? Why is that you have an open relationship but likes is something that you have a strong opinion about?
I don't care. We obviously don't. We don't care. The two of us. But I'm saying for traditional people, like, here's my view on. Well, now you guys are on this weird fucking one-ended open shit, so I don't know what that is. For 99% of the people listening, for 99% of the people listening, okay, for 99% of men in relationships, I think that the goal is to keep yourself out of dangerous territory as much as possible. Because I think that everybody, men and women, will cheat if you put them in the right scenario. It will always happen. You cannot avoid it. It will. I don't care about any of this pair bonding, woman loves bullshit. If you put somebody in the right situation enough, they will fucking cheat. It's happened to everybody. So when you start getting on Instagram and you start liking women's pictures, like, you've liked a ton, eventually you're going to want to send a DM to somebody, you're going to start commenting, like, you're just putting yourself down a path that you don't need to go. There's no reason why you need to be liking other people's pictures on Instagram, unless it's like friends or whatever. Like, why would you even
What don't you understand about the one-ended open relationship?
It just seems wildly like disrespectful. Like, I don't know, like the woman has no respect for herself in a one-ended open relationship. That's what I would say.
What does that have to do with respect? If she's happy.
Well, if I'm with a partner, I want my partner to respect me and themselves, and I want them to have respect. And
what am I getting out of it?
Yeah.
If I'm dating him, he's the only one that can see
one-ended open relationship is just crazy.
She has to be with me.
Yeah, but isn't that like, he's a human? I'm also a human.
The only way that works is if you pull a woman that's way less than what you should be pulling. That's what I would say. Because if you're pulling a woman that's on your level, she shouldn't tolerate you fucking around.
Why do you care so much about level? Why does that matter in a relationship?
Well, you guys are the ones talking about pulling people that are appropriate, right? If you go to a trailer park, you can pull a woman that like fucking
level is like in terms of success and stuff like that. I don't look at that.
I'm saying that if we are pulling about our level, whatever we determine our levels to be. So for you, it might be like youth attractiveness or helps you get
just compatibility.
Not just compatibility.
That's mainly what, if we get along, that's what's most important. It doesn't really matter what her job is and everything like that. If we get along and we like each other, that's the most important thing.
I think that's like open communication, that's like having clear boundaries and respect with your partner. Like, everybody's going to be different, right? Every single one of us is different. So if you're with somebody, you need to have like that conversation on what they're comfortable with, what you're comfortable with. It's got
we have, and we're comfortable. It's open for me, closed for her.
Yeah.
I mean, if it works for you, then
I don't understand like what the level thing has to do with in your respect thing.
Because in my estimation, if I see a one-ended open relationship, then somebody there is way out of their bounds, and that's the reason why they would hold on to it. That's what I would normally view.
Or to just put it.
Yeah, but why would you only?
Because a lot of women like to be held down by one man and like to feel protected and that she's safe with them.
No shot. No shot.
That a woman wants to be protected and
not while her man is out other women. Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're pulling, if you're Leonardo DiCaprio, because you're Leonardo DiCaprio, you can do it. But if you're 99% of people listening, sure. But like the only way you can do this is if you're pulling somebody that's way, way, way less than what you could.
Why don't you try to be Leonardo DiCaprio, man?
Because I don't want to be because I don't want to date random fucking people that I dump in like 2 years ago or whatever.
Yeah. So
if you want to be Leonardo DiCaprio, you can. That's on you. But you're asking me why I wouldn't do it. I'm telling you why.
No, why not aim for that standard? Why not, if that you're saying that's the highest standard for a man, why are you settling?
How are you settling?
You're saying that Leonardo DiCaprio could pull that off. You're saying that he's the highest value male.
If that's what he wants to do, how old is he?
I think he's 40.
50. Sure. Yeah.
What?
If that's how he wants to live his life, then go for it. He can do it.
He
But,
just
like,
broke up with a 25-year-old because it was her birthday.
Yeah, he don't go over 25.
Always.
Goodbye.
But I wouldn't break up with my girlfriend when she turns 25. I don't really like. I'm not in that like I need a young girl thing that men
sure.
are on.
When I look at relationships, they require a lot of work from both ends. And if one person is putting their attention on a whole bunch of people, and the other person is like dedicated solely to that relationship, it just seems super imbalanced to me. Like I don't know.
I think it is mostly for men is just the ability to. Like I'm out right now. I go out to clubs, I go out to restaurants, I network, I meet a lot of people. I don't want to have to feel like, well, I got the wife at home. It's a lot of the freedom aspect that I like about it. The fact that
but when you say that, that sounds like a single man.
No, because I love my girl. I love
not so much that you're willing to.
Yeah, but if she agrees with it,
well.
if she agrees with the terms, that's it. Just like you establish that monogamous relationship, if you want to be tied in that hold and do that, then play to that game.
I don't
But
think
if
anyone
you're
wants
like-
to agree to that.
But
If
is
they
it
do,
because,
they
is it
do.
because you guys
No.
You should meet
live
her.
on like a
You should
equal
meet her.
terms type of thing? Like you guys are
Communication.
Exactly.
Would
If
you
you
guys
agree, like,
agree
hey,
with
I'm
that?
out here in these streets. It is what it is. It's not like I'm gonna go out here hunting. It's just
Yeah.
like if a girl comes up to me, hey, I'd like to suck your dick in your nice.
I'm not
whip.
actively seeking it out,
I'm
but it's
like,
nice to
all
be
right,
able
cool.
to exercise that muscle. It's
Yeah,
nice
but
to
if
still have
you're a
that-
woman exercise it, you'd be in.
Then hell
you'd
no.
have a huge
No,
problem
because a
with it.
woman exercising that muscle, she's in a different mental space. But actually, what I realized about having an open relationship is being that guy who still has the ability to hunt. It keeps you on your toes and it keeps you the best man you could be. Once you get, what I felt when I get comfortable in a relationship, being monogamous and everything, that's when I stop working out. That's when I start getting lamer. That's when I'm watching Netflix and I'm like, okay, with my boob hair, and I'm just like laying down. But when I still have my balls attached and I still like I could do what I want to do. I'm a better boyfriend.
So this is like the weird paradox of some of the red pill stuff is that it talks like, no, I'm not including you guys, just talking to SNEAKO here. You talk about like self-help, building yourself as a good person, like becoming a good man, doing all these things. But it sounds like at the end of the day, you're a slave to women's opinions of you.
No, no.
Well, hold on. You just said that if you're not
That's
hunting
not what I'm
women,
talking about.
your
No,
drive to go to the gym
I'm saying it
disappears.
helps.
Your
I'm saying it
why?
helps.
Why does it help? Why do you need women? Why do you need random women? Why can't your
Like you
woman
just like
inspire
do
you
it
to do that?
yourself. Your
Like,
inner
shouldn't that be
mind.
the-
No, because I'm saying being with one woman and being monogamous kind of brings it down. Like it's like the married guy, like, whoa, got the wife. I would, but the wife.
Then just be single.
You know those
I
guys?
think it's an age thing though.
Destiny.
I'm
Yeah.
not
Bro, you're
in a
trying to-
disrespectful way. I think it's an age
Right.
thing though, because if you haven't really lived and fulfilled that sexual department for an alpha guy, you're gonna need your dick scratched constantly, no matter where you're at.
It's not even what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to get my dick scratched constantly. I just like to keep the everything. I like the single guy aspect of my life and being in a relationship at the same time. I like being like, yeah, I'm the single guy. You walking out, putting on nice shirts.
This is like an
wearing Cartiers
acceptable.
and shit.
I'm gonna respond to that, and then you because I don't want you because I'm cutting you off a lot. Just I can see that there are sometimes monogamous couples where both people are like really flirty and they kind of like have fun like that, but they don't actually go as far as like actual making out with somebody or fucking somebody or doing
That's
anything.
not
Like that.
acceptable.
So I think that's okay, but like the need to like have to be out and exercising options on just one side, it just those relationships are always gonna be super fucked. Unless you've got that girl, like you're so many leagues ahead of her that she knows that she can't find anything even close to you. That's what I think.
Why you don't? I don't think in terms of leagues. Like that's a female idea that you're applying.
If she
to a
can find
relationship.
somebody even remotely similar to you, though, who's not going to be walking out on her to go for other women, she's going to exercise that option. She's going to leave for somebody
because
else.
She's
He's talking about a three.
All right, so,
Listen,
MJ had a point. Go ahead, MJ.
Listen,
Please.
here's my thing, bro. You were like, you're kind of hinting at like this fairness because you're like, hey, SNEAKO, bro. Well, she should be able to do the same thing. It's like, bro, what's fair? Let me ask you this. I'll pose this to you. What's fair if it's both side open ended, but you know a female has just she outbounds you by leagues with the amount of dick she can get just walking down the street.
Facts.
But if you pull up outside, hey, who wants some of this dick? It's gonna be crickets. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Then you don't go into open relationships. Don't do an open relationship then.
But what
Yeah,
I'm
that's
saying-
an easy one.
Bro, but I'm telling you, just like you like to throw out statistics, like a 99% of men are literally outbounded by leagues just by a 7, like a woman that's a 7. Yeah. A regular chick can get so much more sex than a guy who's a 9.
I understand that. I agree with you, but
so
I'm
not
just
fair.
saying it's not about
it's not fair.
Well, no, what's not fair is if you're walking out to go other women and introducing all sorts of who
I
knows
didn't say
what.
I was going out. To
No,
do
I'm not
that.
saying you. I mean you in general, not you.
I
not
know
you.
what you
Yeah,
mean.
but I'm saying on the one ended, like if one guy is going out, he could be getting STDs, he could be knocking other women up, he could be starting a whole bunch of fucking drama. There's all this shit that he's doing so that he can have fun while the woman is at home taking care of the house, at home chilling. Like, how is that fair?
I don't see that.
Okay, so I will. Let's go ahead, MJ, and then I'll go after you. My bad. Go ahead, please.
Bro, first off, the world is not fair. None of us are born in fair conditions. That's number
Preach.
one.
True.
Number two, it's like this. I'm a boss. So I'm gonna be out here doing my thing. It's not like I'm looking to get play, but if a girl comes up to me like, yo, I just left the gym. Hey, your car's nice. I'd like to suck your dick in your car. And I'm just gonna be like, hey, well, I can't do this.
Got the wife at home.
Sorry. I gotta cuddle and eat
Gotta
Halo
watch
ice cream.
Netflix.
Watch Disney like that. No, I'm not finna do that. Like you gonna suck this Johnson, and that's cool. And I'm gonna go back and
cuddle
treat
with
her
my
like-
wifey.
yeah, I'm gonna do this.
And I'm even happier. Hey, just got my dick sucked. How you doing? Hey, have a good day.
But she gotta be like, she just has to respect that I'm still gonna bring that that's a one-off, and it's because men and women look at sex differently.
Yeah,
like
It's all about maturity too. Because like you have to be mature to like understand a relationship like that. If you're immature and you're freaking out, like it's not going to be okay.
It's totally okay. What are you? This is some wild Miami.
Most people can't
No,
stop.
hold
Like,
on.
if you're not-
if
if
your
you don't have
partner's
the-
out fucking somebody else, it's totally okay to be a little freaked out by that. That's a totally normal human
But
reaction.
what I'm saying is like when I was out in Vegas, you have those types of couples that are actually totally okay with it.
Just on the
And
one
then-
side, on the
No,
one.
like it's
When there's
like
only one guy, there's only one hooking up
like,
with girls.
All right.
So can I jump in on the one-sided thing?
Sure, if you want to.
So I think nowadays with some women and their mindset of dating is, oh, the dating world is trash. There's no good men out there. So when it's one-sided like that, it's in some of these women's heads is I found a good guy that meets, pretty much everything that I want to cross off. And okay, he wants to be open and, do X, Y, and Z. She's okay with that because she's getting the bills paid. She has a house and she's taking care of the house. She's, cooking the food. She's cleaning. She's doing the laundry. Nowadays, unfortunately, like to say is there are some women that are okay with that. And as a man,
They've always been okay with that.
Yeah.
well,
It's
okay.
not
So
now.
That's not even true.
But as a man,
I know
history.
girls that
Can
like
I-
literally have kids and like
Kings have
they're
had
on their third
16
kid
women.
and they're just like,
Kings
I don't
lock
want
up
to deal with
16
this.
women. The women don't
Can I
choose.
ask you guys a question?
Let her finish your point and then
Sorry,
go ahead.
okay, yeah.
Go ahead.
but as a man, you want to have one woman that, for a lack of better words, that you control. That this is your woman. There's nobody touching my woman. But you want to be able to go out and have the freedom. And it's not, and sometimes in those relationships, it doesn't mean that you're literally walking out the door and fucking everything that you see. Sometimes when you have the most freedom, you're not really even getting anything. It's the ones that don't have the freedom are out going crazy trying to get other
100%.
women and cheat on other people. So you guys have the freedom. That's what you guys like. You still have a happy home. Your wife or your girlfriend is still happy. And you can go out and live your life and have fun and go to the parties and do X, Y, and Z, but then still come home to a happy home.
Yep. Right. You're caking
Go
in
ahead.
it.
Yeah, I
And
just
then-
want to ask you guys a question. Do you guys think that women cheat more often sexually or emotionally? Do you think
both. Hell the fuck yes.
Yeah, both. I would say both.
There's actually some data that came out. I think we're reacting to it a couple days ago, where they found that women are committing infidelity at higher rates. And then I would argue that's just with the sex part. I would argue women commit infidelity at an easier, like I said before, at the threshold, just from being open with your sexuality to other men, like advertising yourself out there. I would consider that cheating, because the way women flirt is not the same way that men flirt. So we have to look at it through a female paradigm and a female lens, which is women don't overtly communicate their attraction to the opposite gender. They do it covertly. So we have to use the female lens of what infidelity probably is, versus for guys, you have to actually go out there and get rejected by 20, 30 girls before you even get laid by one, assuming your game is tight.
So one thing that was really interesting, I was reading a study from I think it's Bolton Hardett. It was talking about basically the relationship of cheating between men and women. And pretty demonstrably since 1981, over and over and over, we see that men tend to prefer cheating sexually. They kind of see sex as this benign, non-emotional thing. They're like, I can cheat, I can have sex, and it's not emotional. It seems to be the case that women consistently don't experience that. They don't report cheating in that way. It seems to be the case that typically they become incredibly emotionally dissatisfied in the relationship first.
Yes.
And then afterwards they'll cheat, usually emotionally first. They find the guy who hears their feelings, who cares about them, and eventually they'll sleep with them. And so basically what I would post to like MJ and SNEAKO is if you know that she's more likely to cheat if her emotions aren't being met, and you're also concerned about basically like seeing a bunch of women, how are you going to meet those needs and prevent her from wanting to like find emotional support elsewhere if you're not there and you're kind of split between like 3 to 4 women and she doesn't have any other emotional outlet?
I thought you disagreed with the show. You're saying all the same talking points. I thought you disagreed with the show. You're saying all the same talking points.
Yeah, there's some stats. I'm not here to be like, hey,
she's
everything
posing a
they say is
question
wrong
to us.
But I'm curious what you think about that.
You want to go?
Yeah. How are you going to meet the emotional needs of your woman when you're?
That's why I know that I'm comfortable in this relationship. And you're saying that there's a lack of respect and that there's.
No. Her question was, how are you going to meet the emotional needs? Oh, okay, go.
Yeah, so I meet all of her emotional needs. She's very happy, so that's why I feel comfortable having the relationship open on my end, and she's good on hers. But I meet all the emotional needs. I take care of her. I give her attention. I provide for her, keep her safe, hold her hand.
Yeah.
Do everything, kiss her goodnight. Hey, poopy poo,
Does she want to hear about the other women?
No. So we tried that before, and it's at first the lying, like keeping it secret, annoyed her, and that was like, why are you sneaking around my back? So she wants to be aware of what the situation is, but ultimately, I think most women cannot handle the truth. They don't want to hear about it, so they want to know, like, okay, this is what it is, but I don't want to hear too much about it. And if you get it too invested into one girl, it's like, can you just block her or something like that? That happened recently. No problem. Block her. That's fine.
Do you think that increases the likelihood that she might cheat on you first emotionally and then later sexually?
I think I would see it beforehand. If she wasn't smiling and bubbly all the time, I'd be like, something's off. She won't cheat on me. I think you can sniff it. If you're not providing as a man, then she's going to seek it out.
You might notice it. I'm just wondering if you think it's going to increase the likelihood of her cheating.
What, having an open relationship?
On only your side, yeah.
No, I'm doing everything she wants.
So if you notice that she was unhappy, would you close? Would you stop?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would. If it was like wrecking her mentally and everything like that. But yeah, it's working out.
So I think Destiny, I just want to ask you real quick.
He was about to say something too. I cut him off. Sorry. Go ahead.
I think you got to be like, you know what? Well, like I said, bro, establish that in the beginning. Like if y'all are being exclusive, then that's one thing. But to your point, like if she knows I'm out here and she wants to be emotionally fulfilled, that's going to happen. Because like, okay, I get my meat sucked and I'm like, cool. And I go back, I'm still going to be that guy. Like, I'm gonna be that guy that'll hold your hand when you need it held. I'll cuddle with you if it needs to be, right? But I'm still gonna be that savage when I need to be that savage. So I might ignore you and then look dead in your face and be like, yeah, I'm ignoring you. And that's gonna satisfy your other emotion that needs to be stimulated. And then later that night, you're gonna wanna, fuck and then cuddle after that. And then that's cool. And like, it's a whole spectrum of women that y'all don't even realize sometimes. You need to have everything hit on a certain note. And I already understand that. So for me, no, that wouldn't affect it. Opening it on my end is going to it's not going to change anything. I don't think, and to your second question, would that increase her chance of cheating? I don't think it would. I think it's going to be the same regardless. She's either going to or she's not. But if she knows that you're that dude, chances are she respects you.
She don't want to mess that up.
She's not going to. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just getting my meat sucked on the side.
I think I have to agree with you because I feel like females, at least, we don't want someone that's just nice, or we don't want someone that's, obviously just a dickhead. But there's like a very fine line in between the two. And I think today people have a hard time separating love and sex. Like there's definitely a difference.
Right. 100%.
All right. You have some? Just real quick. So you have your wife here, right? I'm just curious. So when she is with somebody else, you don't feel a type of way about it?
Usually if we're doing something, we'll have it like planned at the same time. So if I'm traveling somewhere in like a week or two, she'll make plans, I'll make plans. So we're both with somebody at different times.
Okay, let's say he's with somebody. Do you feel a way about it at all?
No.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. So
like that isn't. So let's say you go on a trip, but you're at home.
Well,
I'm
usually
not
try
at
to
home.
plan.
I'm traveling out somewhere else too.
So like because he's gonna go do his thing, you're gonna have to plan your own thing also. So that's not as organic then, isn't it? Or you
No, it's back and forth. If I say, hey, I'm gonna go see someone, he usually sees someone.
Like when you're big, like big in like the Twitch YouTube world, you've got like a million girls or guys
that's
hitting
like
you up
what works for
constantly.
you guys. Yeah.
So do you guys feel like there's any depth in that relationship?
With the other people or with us?
I don't mean in a disrespectful way at all. Like
between us or with other people?
with you two.
Yeah, of course.
Like in what way though? Like
I mean,
how
we live
like, for
together, we
example,
travel
like,
together, we do all like the gay relationship stuff. Like, yeah, I mean,
like
we
what, the kids, cooking,
Wait, do you
cleaning,
think the
bonding stuff?
relationship is just about sex?
No.
So
Absolutely not.
what else is it?
I'm saying like if let's say a monogamous relationship, a woman has her roles, a guy has his roles. There's some form of 50-50, but it's not financial. And I would have to say like my 50 fulfills things that he can't do or he doesn't want to do. So if you're both doing the same things, I'm just curious on how you progress in that. Like, how is there going to be depth in that where we're both doing the same thing?
I think we're both doing almost the exact same thing. Like she makes a ton of money at her job on Twitch. She's got a ton of subs and everything. Like we both clean the house. She's not like my maid. Like we do. Yeah, we do like everything.
My question with that is the problem with, in my opinion, for two people having the same thing is like, let's say you don't hold up your end on one part, but you can do it. And after a while you don't do it. Don't you just feel like, all right, fuck this. I don't really want this anymore. Next. As opposed to, let's say like you cook his favorite dish and he doesn't cook at all. And you're like, I can't lose her. She's like my favorite dish cooker. I can't lose her at all. So I just feel like there's a form of like, I need you in my life, not in a toxic way. It's almost like your parents, like no one can replace your parents. So when you have two people that are equal to that extent, it's almost, there's no liability. There's almost like, you cut me, I'm gonna cut you back. If you're cool, I'm cool. But like to what extent, there's no depth in my opinion. I'm just saying. Like, what if you meet another Twitch person that has like blue hair and does almost the exact same thing with like one top notch?
I understand what you're saying. Let me try to phrase what you're saying, then you can tell me if I understand.
Yeah.
So you're looking at relationships where both ends are unequal in some way, such that one person is like satisfying a huge deficit of another person. So you might have a husband that I'm making stuff up. Like you really want the house painted, the gutters cleaned, and he can do that really well. You can't do that at all. But you are like an awesome cook. You can do like a ton of stuff around the house, and then you guys have that type of relationship. I understand that. I respect that. I think it's really cool if people have relationships that work that way. Me personally, I don't like that kind of relationship. Like I'm looking for somebody forever. I like people that are like on my level for everything I want to do. Like if I want to record.
How old are you? Do you mind me asking?
33.
So you can see yourself flying and fucking strangers up to like 40, 50, 60. Like that doesn't bother you?
I don't know how long I want to do it for. Like it's tapered off a bit. Like last year was way more active than this year. Which like
so then you can see yourself slowly like changing in eventually, because it's almost like
that's a fundamentally different question on how long I'll be interested in like fucking other girls versus like the type of partner.
I get
even
that
even if my relationship was totally closed.
Right.
So like we've had conversations like what kind of relationship we have, whatever. Even if it was totally closed, I still want somebody that looks like a partner to me in most ways. Like we're not like fulfilling each other's deficits so much as like we both are on the level to do a lot of shit together, like career wise, household wise, travel wise, or whatever. We're both like on the same level to do that.
So you want a friend?
Roommates.
I get like a best friend, right?
Okay. Here's the thing. I mean, you know, obviously Destiny has his relationship, but we don't have to focus on that because obviously the whole conversation started with because Destiny disagrees with the whole one-sided thing. And just for all the ladies here, basically, you know, me, SNEAKO, Fresh, I think MJ as well agrees with this, that men, if you're going to be in a relationship, the guy can be, you know, open and the woman be closed. And I know that obviously draws a lot of criticism. That's sexist, that's misogynistic, that's whatever. So I'm going to explain why it works on the male side. However, it does not work on the female side. I'm going to break this down from the beginning, from the foundation, and then break it down why it makes sense. So for us to understand this, we got to understand, number one, men and women are different, correct? Could we all agree that we're different?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would it be fair to say that men and women have different sexual strategies?
Yeah, men are like more animalistic in their instincts, and women think with their heads.
Yeah.
Incorrect. But anyway, that's fine. I'll go through this systematically with you guys. So men want open sexuality with as many women as possible. Women typically want security from the best man that they can get. So in other words, men want quantity, women want quality. Okay, fair enough. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
Okay. Next, now that we understand this, when a woman does have a man that she wants, she typically wants security from that guy. Let me ask you ladies a question. If given the option, would you prefer to be having sex with multiple guys or having sex with one guy?
One guy.
Okay, pretty universal here. That most of the women here prefer to have sex with one guy at a time, correct? Right, and preferably that guy will be providing you the security as well, correct?
Except her.
Okay.
I don't. I sleep around.
Okay,
with
and
men
that's
and women.
and that's fine. And that's fine.
I like being single.
But would you prefer to have one guy and then sleep around with women, or do you not care? It could be men or women.
It could be anyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the majority here, though, the majority of the women here want security from one guy having sex with one guy, correct? Yeah. Okay. Now for the guys, if left to your own devices, you would want to probably have sex with multiple women, correct? Would that be fair to say?
True.
Okay.
Amen.
So now that we've established the foundation that men want sex with quantity, women want sex with quality, and they want to adhere to that, my argument is this. If a woman gets security from one guy, they typically don't want to have sex with multiple partners. However, if a man has the best girl in the world, he's still going to want to have sex with other women. Okay? So think about this. Let's think about algebra. You got to equalize on both sides, right? The woman is getting what she wants. She has security from that man. She got the best guy that she can get. Bam, she feels satisfied. The man, however, he's still missing something. This is where the infidelity comes in. So even if a guy has the best girl ever, I've said this a million times on this podcast, women get mad when I say it. You're never going to be enough for your guy. Men have an insatiable thirst for sex and they want variety. You're never going to do it by yourself, okay? So some girls accept this and some girls don't. You know, some girls accept it by doing threesomes. Some girls don't like it. Like, no, you're going to be monogamous to me, and he steps out anyway. So the only real difference is guys of higher status basically tell the girl, hey, I'm going to cheat anyway. You could pick what you want to do. And guys of lower status typically lie about it. So my thing is this. The men are typically losing when the woman gets security because she's getting what she wants, the guys are getting what he wants. Now, this is where we get into the controversial part. The reason why it works when a man is open and a woman is closed is because of two reasons. When a man is open on his end, it does two things. Number one, it keeps the girl on her toes. Why? Because we know that when women can be replaced to behave. I know that sounds sexist or whatever it may be, but a girl needs to like the guy more than he likes her. One more time. The girl needs to like the guy more than he likes her. Why? Because women need to know that they're getting the best deal. How does she know that she's getting the best deal? Well, when she's not sure if she has that deal, full grasp. I hate to say it like that, but that's the reality of the world. So if the girl likes the guy more, she's not going to have time to sit there and want to entertain other guys because she's already being emotionally satisfied because that guy is better than her, in her eyes at least, and he can replace her anytime. However, if she's the main girl and he steps out and has sex with other girls, that does two things. Keeps him attractive to her, and on top of that, keeps him attractive. Why? Because to get new girls, what do you have to do? You have to stay in shape. You have to keep your game sharp. You have to still dress well. You have to be a sexually attractive male to get other girls, even though you have a girl. So it works for both parties. The girl's chasing that guy's validation, so she feels like she has the best deal. The guy's getting the women that he wants, and he still has his main chick. So I look at it like it works on that side. And if you guys don't believe me, since the beginning of time, many men have had hordes of women. I've never seen it the other way around, though, because guys have an issue with girls that are promiscuous and guys have an issue with girls that have multiple partners. However, women, even though they say they have a problem with guys that have multiple partners, the reality is if the guy's value is high enough, the woman will share him. This has been proven since the beginning of time. That's why powerful men, strong men, have always had harems of women, and the women accepted it because their need for security with that high status guy overrides their ego and their need to be monogamous. Monogamy is typically what guys resort to that don't have the value to go ahead and get other women and or they lie about it. But any guy, if left to his own devices, is always going to want other women. It works because he's able to keep his attraction high. The girl gets what she wants because she has the best man. She's just going to have to share him sexually.
If the guy is that worldview is totally okay with me, as long as you're okay with the woman upgrading as soon as she finds a more financially successful guy. You have to accept that then.
I agree.
Okay,
so the second she sees somebody, that can offer her more security, more financial whatever, and she sees a guy and then she leaves, then that's fine.
It's more than just finances when he talks about security.
No, it can't be. If you want to do the Evo Psych bullshit, it's just about security.
Security is not finances. Security is mental.
If you want to talk about other types of security, one security is that your man won't step out on you. That's a big piece of security for a lot of women, that you know that your man can go to places and he's not going to fuck around. That's a big piece of security, but you don't want to provide that security. You want to talk only financial, only stability. If you want to do that, that's fine. But if she finds a bigger castle, she should be able to leave you, and you can't really.
So I should let me delineate a little bit what I meant by security. So obviously you're providing for her, right? What I mean by this is you're providing for her, right? She has the last name, she has the house, you have children with her. She has these tangible assets to her name that protect her position. Because she knows she's the main girl. She's the one that you actually bring out. She's the one that gets the ring. She's the one that gets the gifts, etc. The other girls just get dick and nothing else. So that's how you assure that woman feels that security. Because at the end of the day, if she feels all you really got to do is make a girl feel special. And once she feels that you've invested in her and she's also invested in you, because remember, she's chasing your validation. That's why it's so key. I tell guys all the time, the girl must like you more than you like her, because she needs to feel like she's getting a good deal. And the only way she's going to feel like she's getting a good deal is when she feels as though she's not sure where she stands with this guy. I hate saying
I don't understand. It feels like such a male centric. Like, how do you feel secure when your guy could walk out and knock up another girl? What is 100%. Secure about that?
Well, I told you the having the house, the last name,
that doesn't keep you from knocking up another girl. Last name doesn't keep you from knocking up another girl.
That's true,
children, right?
That's true. But here's the thing: that guy is going to be heavily punished if he leaves you. Because we live in, obviously.
Well, hold on, no. The woman is punished. Yeah, favors women to keep the kids.
Oh my gosh. Of course.
No. But the guy.
Hold on. No, you don't really believe this. A single mom is way more than a single guy.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
No. But here's the thing.
What?
So.
You were just talking about finances.
Is this new?
Single fathers get.
No. Let me address that. Let me address that. Because I see the argument he's making. He's saying like, well, you'll make her a single mom and that sucks. My argument is that there's a reason why the phrase "it's cheaper to keep her" exists, because most guys will stay in the relationship with the girl even though they're miserable, because they know if they divorce her, especially if they're a breadwinner, which again is a big part of you staying attractive, you're going to lose half of your assets. You're going to lose your children. You're going to have to pay her alimony. So most guys are not going to leave their girl.
So
is what I'm trying to say.
You have to pay why do you pay alimony?
If you're married for more than 10 years, you have to.
I'm asking why you pay alimony.
You have to keep her lifestyle at a certain level when you were together.
No, it's because she's foregoing her whole career in order to do the children thing. So when you leave, the reason why you pay alimony is to compensate her for the fact that she's thrown her life away on the family that you just walked out on. But as a man, as you age, you're a 35-year-old dude, you got kids, nobody gives a f. You have kids without a mom, nobody cares. You're still fine. And not only that, but you had a woman take care of your kids the whole time, you can build your whole career. You don't lose anything. If you walk out of a relationship, you're both 32 years old, the woman has 2 kids, it's right. You can laugh, but you guys will say, like, how many people here know somebody that like how many people here knows a girl who had a baby daddy walk out on him that never child support is everybody knows that. So to act like child support is a 100% thing. Also, you're talking about splitting assets, breadwinner, all that shit. People making $45K a year aren't thinking about this shit. People making $35K a year aren't like losing their $2 million nest egg at 27 when they leave their baby mama. A lot of these women don't even go to court. A lot of them don't even get married, right?
But that's you're missing my argument. Isn't that divorce sucks? My argument is simply that men are less incentivized to divorce women, especially when they've had children with them and they've married them and given them like some semblance of security, because men understand that divorce destroys them and women have everything to gain. So that's my argument. Women initiate 80% of the divorces. Guys really initiate
regardless
divorce.
of who initiates it. I'm just saying that after divorce, you guys should even believe this in your red pill ideology. A guy who gets divorced, the years that he spent building his career benefit him. Him being single at 30 or 35, that's beneficial to him. The woman having kids is a huge baggage to her. Not having any income is huge baggage to her. If she's looking for a new guy and this guy knows that she's hopefully getting child support or alimony from somebody else is going to be tied in with for the rest of her life, like it's a huge load of baggage for the woman.
But the guy's not going to initiate the divorce. What I'm trying to say, it's the guy is not going to do it.
If the guy is able to step out and cheat every day, of course he's not, because he doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't need a divorce.
But she still gets the security. Is my point.
But she doesn't want a guy that's not be faithful or loyal to her, not like
That's
around
not
like
true. Just
I established that a woman, if you put it up front, your value's high. Again, most guys can't pull this off.
For 1%, yeah. If you want to talk like the 1%, sure. But for the 99.9% of people listening,
it's most people at this table. Most people at this in this whole panel, we just went through it. Most women are okay with it.
Okay, if we want to do like advice for YouTubers, if we want to like crowd in and just do for guys that are making like big 6-figure, 7-figure
we're encouraging people to become high value men so they can get to this point. But
99% of people listening aren't going to be in this.
They're not going to do that. But not everyone is going to reach that.
I think there's got to be winners and losers. I'm just saying that it's possible, and guys can definitely do this, and women will share if your value is high enough and you know what you're doing. My thing is that it always works when the man has the leverage. That's my main argument.
Yeah, I agree with that. The leverage.
What if the girl just likes it? Like sometimes girls just like hooking up with girls.
I understand that, but the whole point here, remember, the whole argument, let's bring this back to where this started. The argument is simply this. It works when a relationship is open on the male side and closed on the female side. It doesn't work the other way around typically.
And the reason why I said that type of open
is
relationship.
because men are naturally, not attracted to women that have sex with other dudes. Now, there's some guys out there that can tolerate it for sure, but most women want to have sex with one guy. Most guys want to have sex with multiple girls. So both people are able to establish their sexual strategy, assuming the guy's value is high enough. He knows game. He has game and his value is high enough. And the girl understands her place. You got to be open about it, of course. And most guys can't pull this off. But what I'm saying is that guys are going to cheat anyway. It's just that some of them do it surreptitiously because they don't have the value to tell their girl overtly, I'm going to step out on you.
So one thing I wanted to clarify, when you're talking about like you're providing for a woman, you're talking about mostly tangibles, which is inherently connected to money, correct?
Yeah, but of course you're providing for her emotionally as well.
How are you going to do that well when you've got like 20 other women on the go?
Not
especially
20.
when you're
not going to have 20, but
you can still do it. It's not on the roster. It's just like once in a while, you just want your dick sucked or something like that.
You want like two or three, or is it just like casual sex?
Just casual, and really the repeated thing is when she starts getting her emotions involved and stuff like that. It's better to keep it like 1 or 2 or 3 times.
Do you think it's easier to feel emotionally connected to somebody that you trust, or to somebody that you inherently can't trust because you know?
No, that is trust. If you establish that this is what we want in the relationship.
How do I trust you if I know that you're going to replace me?
No, I don't want to replace my girlfriend.
Okay, maybe I should orient my conversation then towards Myron instead.
Okay, go ahead. So I don't
think Myron doesn't want to replace the main chick either.
Yeah, so ladies, you got to understand that for us, and I know it's kind of difficult to understand a little bit because for you guys, sex is emotional. You can't fathom the fact that you're having sex with someone without some kind of emotional tie.
Not me.
But
Seriously.
You can't just say all women here. You can't say that.
I'm saying in general, most women have an issue with having sex with multiple men at the same time. And we established this earlier when I was asking my line of questioning. So what I'm saying is that since most women have an issue with that, it's very difficult for them to grasp this concept that having sex with other people but having a main girl. Now, you may be able to do it. You're able to do it with Destiny, but a lot of women aren't able to do that. Most women don't want to have sex with multiple men at the same time and or multiple partners. They want to get security from one guy, have sex with that guy, emotionally build with that guy. But what I am saying is that men are different. We can love you and have sex with another girl. And what I'm arguing is my ability to have sex with other girls and even enacting on that ability makes me more attractive to my girl, because women are very attracted to something called pre-selection. But men, however, are not. That's why I'm saying it doesn't work on the open side for the female, because a man doesn't need a cosign from his guy friends to know a girl's attractive.
As long as you're specifying, that's for like the 1%. Because to 99% of women, their guy fucking another woman is the least attractive thing in the world.
No, I disagree. She becomes more attractive to that guy.
If she is actually into like the fetish of like cuck queen or whatever, maybe. It's not a fetish.
No,
For the men at home listening, if you cheat on your wife or girlfriend, she's not going to find that attractive. That is some wild shit.
I'm curious of the girls. Do you find it attractive knowing that your man is hooking up with someone else?
It's not about the attraction. It's about women don't like nice guys. They like fuckboys.
Yes.
So
they respect a guy who you're attracted to.
Women are meant to almost be women are almost indoctrinated to be fucking miserable without knowing it in a weird emotionally, because when you're literally comfortable with the guy, we're like, he's not going anywhere. We disrespect the fuck.
Does it sound like a healthy relationship? It's not really. No one wants that at the end. If you pick like, do I want to have a guy that fucks around, or do I want to have someone that is just with me? I think most women was gonna say just with me.
All women just said the opposite.
So here's the thing. We can say that, but the reality is women are primarily hardwired to men that can replace them with other women. Because here's the thing, they've done this with chimpanzees. They had a chimpanzee, right? A male chimpanzee by himself, and chimpanzees are the closest to human beings, by the way. And he didn't attract the female chimpanzees. However, when he had female chimpanzees with him, the female chimps wanted him. It's a human thing. When you go to the nightclub, where are all the girls concentrated? In the VIP with the guys that have the money and the status, and all the girls are there. You go to a party, who has most of the girls? They're typically, one guy has a monopoly on all the girls. So women are highly attracted to social status, and women need a cosign from other women a lot of the times to find a man attractive. It's just the way it is, because it's social proof. Women are the more vulnerable sex. So if you see a guy, you don't know where he stands. He might be weird, etc. But if there's other girls with him, it makes him far more attractive. It's literally social proof. So my thing is, whether the guy enacts on that sexual capability or he doesn't, it still makes him more attractive. However, on the other side, for the female, I don't need to go to the club with Fresh and have him tell me that girl's bad in the bathroom during our meeting for me to go have sex with her. If she's hot, I'm going to leave with her. I don't need her cosign. Women, however, she'll find the guy attractive. She's still going to go to the bathroom with her girlfriends and be like, what do you think? Am I going to be a hoe if I do this? What do you think? Blah, blah, blah. Women need a cosign from other women. So what I'm saying is that, back to your thing, is I can love my girl, have sex with her, and go have sex with another girl and come back to my girl like nothing happened. However, it typically doesn't work the other way around, where a girl's having sex with another guy and still loves you the same. Now, are there some girls that can do it? Yeah. But I would argue most women can't, because most women want to be monogamous to a degree.
If I could clarify, what are the things that you think when you're going with the other woman? What are these other women attracted to you? We say, I can stay really attracted to other women, which is why they want me. What are these specific things?
Well, women universally like certain traits. Leader of men, a tall, fit, decisive, confident, ambitious. These are typical, and there's a bunch of other traits as well.
Light skin.
Light skin.
Actually, no, you're wrong. Black.
Dark chocolate. So if a man possesses these traits, he's going to be attractive to a while, and obviously income and the ability to provide security and social status. So if a man has these things, he's going to be attractive to a wide demographic of women, and the more attractive you are to a wide demographic of women, other women want you. Look at Leonardo DiCaprio. He has a terrible reputation according to women. Won't fuck a girl over 25 or won't date a girl over 25. He's a womanizer, etc. But why do the women keep going back to him? Look at Dan Blazarian. He's taking pictures with hordes of women. I've always said it. This is going to be offensive to ladies here, but having bitches is a passive income to get other bitches. I hate to say it like that, because women, when they see other women with you, they automatically assume you're cool and you're fun, and they want to get to know you because it creates intrigue. Men don't need that, though.
Do you think that these traits are what make you a good husband or father?
So here's okay. You know what? Fantastic point.
Good question.
Really, really good question. High IQ question. I would argue yes, and the reason why is because if I'm able to have sex with a lot of girls and establish which women are worthy of a relationship and which ones aren't, I'm setting myself up for success, because I'm marrying a woman that, number one, has earned, the privilege of being my girl. And then I know that she's going to be a good mother, because if she's a good wife, because I picked her, then she's going to inevitably be a good mother as well. Because we know 2-parent households are critical to the development of strong children.
Facts. Sure. My concern is, so I talk a lot about men's mental health. That's kind of like what I do my YouTube content on. And we see that men are increasingly depressed, they're increasingly lonely, and they're getting divorced at a super high rate. They're suicidal and they're addicted all the time. And I worry that part of this is because we've attached a man's value to his GDP. We've said a man is valuable. And I think women do this to men as well when he has income, because we see money as essentially a heuristic for what you would say is stability providing.
Yeah.
The issue is that like a guy who can provide all of these things isn't inherently a good father. And I would argue that when you're using this dating strategy with women, I'm concerned that the women that you attract and maintain a relationship with aren't the women who are going to be willing to invest into you. You want a woman who's going to find you attractive when you're broke and you're just trying to get your IT degree, and she sees something in you and is willing to stick beside you. But most women of that quality, if they find out that they can't trust you in a negotiation, and to be honest, most women want monogamy, these women aren't going to be interested in you. And so I'm concerned that the dating strategy that you're suggesting actually ends up with women that are more, that exhibit more fatherless behavior. Because I would argue fatherless behavior is when women look at a man and they see a wallet. That to me is fatherless behavior. When a man's GDP is just all that matters to her. Because when girls don't have dads, a lot of time the relationship they have is either none, or it's a dad who pays alimony, buys her expensive gifts when he feels bad for not being around her, right?
Okay, that's a good argument. So on this podcast, we tell guys all the time, you don't make the money to get the girls, you make the money so women are a byproduct of your success. So when you're in a position where you've dated women, you have money, you've built up certain competency skills, what happens is, and we tell guys all the time, you need to vet a girl for about 1 to 2 years bare minimum.
At least.
So that you can go ahead and establish and see what she's really there for. And most girls, you know, are not going to be able to keep up the charade for much longer. So my thing is you got to get out there and date women. Figure out which women are, you know, worthy of relationship, which ones aren't, because in today's day and age, what you mentioned, like a lot of girls want guys with income. Are they going to take a chance on a guy that's IT? The reality is most girls aren't. With Instagram, social media, women have more options than ever before. Women are far less tolerant of a man that isn't capable. I'm sorry to say, college education, feminism, women earning more money, having more degrees. Women are doing really well right now financially. Women are out earning men in a lot of major cities in the United States nowadays. So women have less tolerance for man's financial ineptitude. So therefore, men must perform. There's no way around it. Most girls are not going to take a chance on you. Most girls want a guy that's ready to go. You know, no fucking assembly required. That's the way. That's where we live in now.
I wholly agree with you.
So with that said, they gotta get all their stuff together from a financial standpoint. That's gonna create competency. Then they also got to get out there, date girls, become the best version of themselves, figure out which girls are for the streets, which girls aren't, and then vet from there for a period of 1 to 2 years. And then they're gonna be able to figure out, is this girl with me for the right reasons? And then that's where they can go.
And let's be real here. Girls want a guy with experience. Let's say, for example, right? You don't want to date a virgin because you got to teach them how to have sex, how to really be a man. So a guy with experience is attractive. But a guy with no experience, where do you go from there?
And these
I
are the
don't think
questions
the
that
average
you're
girl wants a
mentioning.
guy though with like 200 bodies.
Yes, she does.
But
absolutely.
I'm not saying 200. I'm just saying.
I don't think it really matters. As long as you care about that person.
No, so here's the answer to that question. Women are not even capable of like knowing the number. They don't want to know, but they want a guy who has fucked 200 women to be good enough to fuck her properly.
They might want the guy. They might want the type of guy that can get 200 women, but most women outside of the insane Miami circles, if you tell them you've got 200 bodies, she's not going to look at you twice.
Women
you're just insane.
I think the point that they're trying to get at is that it's not about, oh, he slept with 200 women. The point is that women, we don't want to know, right?
Exactly.
And that's like kind of like weird how you put it that way, because like
women,
why don't you want to know?
They only don't want to know if the guy's a piece of shit. Like if you're a bum or a beta, they're like, I don't want to know.
But here's the thing: if you have to ask that, and you're not the type of person that wants somebody like that, why are you even entertaining somebody that you have to ask that question?
Exactly. I don't think their past matters that much though. Like if they're treating you right, like, and they're like open with you and nice to you and doing the right things for you, then what the fuck does it matter?
Well, because that same guy will look at the woman and say if she has over 20 bodies, then she's for the streets.
And then he's a jerk.
Sure, I know, but that's what the argument is here.
Okay, so number one,
the difference in having sex
with guys, we tell guys all the time, discovery trumps disclosure. You never tell a girl what your body count is. She's going to be able to tell, because the thing is, man, when you're charmed, because here's the thing. Women want a guy that's charming, attractive, etc. Right? They want to enjoy the pizza, but they don't necessarily understand what it takes to make said pizza. If you go to your favorite pizza place, right? Maybe down there in South Philly, right? They have a special formula. They have the dough at a certain temperature, the water at a certain temperature. So no one gives a fuck how the pizza's made. They just want to enjoy the end product. And that's kind of how women are when it comes to men.
Yep.
What they don't realize, though, is for that guy to get to that point where he's charming, he knows how to say all the right things, his place is nice, he dresses well, he knows what cologne to wear, whatever. It comes from experience. It takes from a lot of trial and error, okay? So you might have to get 50, 20, 100, 200, 300 bodies, whatever it may be, to become the most charming guy. And the reality is, any guy that's extremely charming and good-looking, etc., more than likely has a high body count, and he got it through experience, through trials and tribulations. So my thing is, most guys are not going to disclose, I had 300 bodies. But what I'm saying is that if a woman's with a man that she loves and admires and respects, and they're about to get married, right? And he proposes to her, and then they go on their honeymoon, and she finds out the day before their wedding, he had sex with 300 women, she's probably not going to call off the wedding. However, let's reverse it. If the guy goes ahead and gets finds out his wife had 300 bodies the day before their wedding, he's calling off that wedding, because men have a way larger vested interest in a woman's past from a promiscuity standpoint. And that's one of the double standards, one of the few double standards that doesn't benefit women.
Wait,
men
can
and
I
women are
ask
not the same
something?
when it comes to sexual past. Sorry, go ahead.
So how do you care about a woman being good in bed at all?
That's to be honest, I'll take a girl.
Do you think a woman that has had more experience is good
So,
in bed better
I would
than
argue-
someone that hasn't had any experience at all?
I would argue most of the guys here and most men in general will take a girl that's less experienced with a lower body count and teach her over a girl that's extremely experienced and want to wife her. Now, when it comes to, and I want to make this very clear too, ladies, there's two hats that men wear when they're dealing with women. There's a relationship hat, and then there's a sex only hat. When it comes to a relationship hat, he doesn't give a fuck what her experience is. He would prefer it be less experience and I teach her. Versus when it comes to sex only, cool, I want her experience up there because I'm not going to wife her. But when
Wait,
it
can I
comes
ask why?
Was that? Sorry.
Can I ask why?
It's not that hard. Just don't use your teeth.
Why?
A woman
why
doesn't
do you
want to teach a
not-
man.
What's the specific question?
No. Why do you not want to have someone that's had more relationships in the past or more experience sexually? Why do you not want to date that?
Damages your brain by the time it gets to that point.
Pair bonding, it's like, for example, you've been through like four relationships, right? Where, for example, like it was bad to you, they mistreated you, treated you like crap. And then you meet me, you're like, you know what? I have trust issues because the guy from the past might be the guy in the future. So we're just saying less baggage, the better.
It's not only that. Guys can have baggage too, though, right?
Yeah, but like,
but men
let's
don't
real here,
bring
though.
baggage up. As a man, it is your responsibility as a man to not complain. You don't complain as a man. You
What
don't
about-
sit here
well,
and be
nobody
like,
wants
I'm
to hear about
depressed.
their
I'm-
ex, like-
Men don't do that. Real men do not do that. That sounds like you're not bringing up your baggage.
Like this is the problem, right? For the girls that are saying like,
That's
I don't want to
not-
ask about
no,
the past.
no, no,
Past
no.
behavior predicts future behavior.
Yeah, but
so
we're
of
talking about
course
men,
you want to
Joe.
know about their past.
Talking
a
about
little
y'all don't
bit.
care.
Yeah, but
women don't
men
care.
don't like to talk
Men,
about
any men here
that.
that
Isn't
that the
men,
problem,
women do
though?
not care about your feelings. They don't care about if you cried today. They don't want. Matter of fact, that
The
turns them
wrong
off.
women.
They pussy dry up.
I would say the wrong women.
To go back to her question, as far as like why is that it?
Wait, can I ask another one then?
I was going to answer the first
Okay.
one, but
yeah, go for it.
no,
No, it's fine. Go for it.
You sure?
I'll just ask.
okay, because the what you asked was like, why does a woman's past matter? It comes from a biological standpoint. Like men are interested in making sure that the kid is theirs. So men have a deep rooted, biological urge to know that their girl isn't promiscuous because they need to be able to ensure paternity. Now, before all you guys say, well, what about there's birth control and there's paternity tests, whatever. Yes, I get that. These are minor conveniences. However, men are still biologically hardwired to want a woman that has a low body count, preferably no body count, because there's a reason why virgins have been valued since the beginning of time, because you knew the kid was yours, right?
Okay.
Just like, even though we live in modern day times now, women still want a guy that's over 6 feet tall.
Okay, let's say
right?
that you meet someone that hasn't had a whole year, but
Yeah.
like the year before that they had sex with like 50 people.
Yeah.
You know that there's not going to be a kid that came out of that,
course.
right?
But
so what is the problem with someone that might have not even dated like romantically and just like hooked up with like 50 people?
So
like, what is your problem with that in that case?
Because men, here's the thing. I'll keep it very simple. I boil it down to one sentence. Women are interested in a man's future. Men are interested in a woman's past. We're very different. We look at opposite things when we deal with the opposite gender. It is what it is. I don't make the rules. I just report
So
them.
what is the problem in that case if there was only sexual interactions that was non-romantic with a woman with other men?
Can I touch on that?
Because men don't want women that have had a lot of partners. We're just hardwired to not look for that. Just like you're hardwired to want a man who's stronger and taller than you for protection reasons to enable your security.
I think
Men
I'm
are-
stronger than him.
Absolutely not.
Here's the thing. You gotta remember that based on your answers, you're an exception to the rule for most women. Like you've given different answers, and you might be different. You're an exception to the rule. But what I'm arguing is that Women look for certain traits in men. They look for, security features. Men look for replication features. And when it comes to replication, a big part of that replication is I want to make sure that I breed with someone that hasn't breeded with a bunch of men so that I can ensure the children are mine. It's a hardwired trait.
Hold on, real quick, because the coach has been winning for a while.
Oh, they had something?
Ladies on the
Chris,
couch.
come on, man.
Yes,
I
Club Fresh.
No, he told me. Ladies on the couch. How do you feel about this?
Okay, so
can your man cheat? Would you be happy? Yes or no?
No, I mean, obviously, no. I'm gonna say no, but I mean, I don't know, guys. I have a lot of emotion on it. I don't know. For me personally, if you're gonna cheat, it's a way of like running away from something that's inside. Like you're running from something personally. If it's not like you said, like in the cards, like y'all's relationship is a different story. Like y'all do y'all's thing. You have like what you respect out of each other. It is what it is. But if I'm going to look for somebody else to make myself feel better, I feel like it's just a scream out of like, I'm running from something. I need something filled. I can't get it from the person I'm with. I can't get it for myself. Therefore, I'm going to keep searching until I find what brings me happiness because I can't bring it to myself yet. You haven't healed. Therefore, you're finding somebody to heal you.
I disagree. I said it earlier. A man's thirst for sex is insatiable and one woman can't satisfy it. It's not about being healed or any of that. Men always want different girls. That's what it is. And I think
so forever.
Ladies, I will keep it 1,000 with y'all. You are never ever going to be enough for your man from a sexual standpoint. Men always want variety. Now, are there some women out there that want variety too? For sure. But when if we're gonna line up 100 men, 99 of them are going to want variety. If we line up 100 women, probably 10 of them are going to want variety. That's the difference. Men want sexual variety.
So in your idea, would you say, how do you feel about the whole, like one woman can change a man? Is that like 100% a no-go for you?
100% cap.
You got.
Really?
You got to remember, just because a man has sex with another girl, it's not a big deal. It really isn't. Like, it's just sex for men. For you guys, it's a big deal, which is why it's so difficult for women to understand it.
My brother always said that. He would be like, all right, so guys cheat because they need to have sex. Whereas it's fucked up when women cheat because at that point they're emotionally involved. Like my brother always said that.
He watches the show.
Going back to the couch, did you have something? Sorry, go ahead. And I think some of the ladies need some water, ladies. So in the back. So go ahead.
No, I think I'm.
So I feel like I've had a lot of points that I've kind of
same.
Lost throughout it. But you said earlier, like I think you said the man should always you said the woman should like the man more. What did you say?
Yeah, basically I said the woman needs to like the guy more than he likes her.
Yeah. So in my experience, it's been like the complete opposite.
100%.
And I think like that caters to your audience, what you're saying. But I think a man will actually change for a woman if he likes her more.
I agree.
Really?
Right. Oh, absolutely.
So question for you. You said that you think it works when the guy likes the girl more?
Yes.
You think it works? Okay. So in all your relationships, did the guy like you more than you liked him?
In some of them, yeah.
Okay. What happened with those guys?
She left.
I broke up with him.
Exactly. and that's what I'm trying to establish. Like, ladies, I don't want to be an asshole or anything like that, but women are very poor assessors of what actually arouses them. See, the thing is that women say, they don't. You guys don't really know what you're aroused by. And if you guys want to call me an asshole, it's been scientifically proven that women don't know what they're aroused by. Okay, they did a study where they actually attached electrodes, to a woman's genitals, and they also gave her a clicker. And they did the same thing for men. And what they found was, and the objective of the thing was, they showed both genders erotic images. Okay, the men and the women. And what they had to do was they had to click on the button if they found what they saw erotic. Okay, so with the men, it was very simple. You show them pictures of ladies, etc., girls kissing. They click the button, and the genitals, the electrodes on their genitals showed blood flow. Means they got a boner. It matched up. So basically, what they clicked on was what they were aroused by. With the women, though, it was very interesting. They showed them monkeys banging. They showed them a bunch of different erotic things, and the girls only clicked on the things that were politically correct. However, the genitals were shown to have blood flow there regardless of what was shown to them. So what does that mean? Well, short story, women don't know what they're aroused by. And typically they're only going to admit what they're aroused by when it's politically correct because women have an incentive to not come off as sluts. So what I'm saying is that, to go back to what you were saying, Ms. Reno, is that you say you think you like it when a guy likes you more, but the reality is you're aroused when you like the guy more, because what it does is it lets you know on very firm terms that guy is of higher value and higher status than yourself. And that is what women want. Women do not want an equal. Regardless of what feminism says, they want a superior.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
How much do you think that this is your difference in relationship ideas is because you're both like you experiment a lot, you're both bi, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, but mainly women for me.
But how much do you think that depends on how much do you think that factors into your relationship? Genuine question.
Almost none.
None?
Yeah. For her, it's really a big deal because she sleeps with guys and girls. So.
Okay.
Yeah. And just like, what?
Good information.
Okay. Real quick.
Well, I mean, it's what they. I mean,
you got a point too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I
want to make sure the ladies on
definitely
the.
had a question. Do
Go
you
ahead.
think just my age, I'm very young, but do you think if we were more open, if we had that opportunity for the men that we date our age, they're not open to communicating with us that way.
Women can't handle the truth. That's why.
I mean, I think I can. I would love to experience it.
I mean, think about it. I just mentioned earlier how men can be open and women can't. And there was a bunch of like, what's going on here? Blah, blah, blah. I disagree with that. Blah, blah, blah. Like, guys can't be honest with women about this stuff because if they do, they're labeled misogynist, assholes, jerks.
Why wouldn't they try? Like, just are they scared of the reaction because they need to be tested? You
Or
just
the
don't
truth?
know. Like,
Here's the problem, right? Let's say, for example, I want to be with you.
okay,
And let's say, for example, you know what? I'm going to fuck other girls.
okay.
What are you going to do?
I mean, at first I'll probably be like, I'm not sure
Nope.
how I feel about that. Probably nope. But
see, that's the problem. If I'm a guy, right?
Mhm.
I'm not getting access to sex like I want to, and I tell you the truth, I'm going to lose you. So as a result, I'm going to lie to you.
right.
Make sense?
But obviously, you don't want to keep me that
But-
much.
No,
That's the
Then
whole
I
point.
would want to know what I am to you.
Huh?
How do you like? I would want to know what I am to you. Where would I fit? Where would I
So
be
what-
at the top? Like,
Why would the woman, when we talk about security, I asked this question last time.
Yeah, go
okay. We have a more active panel here. I like this. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Why is it that, and this is what I don't believe, and I'll admit my mind is closed because if you answer differently as a woman, I just totally don't believe it. I think it's a big cope. If you are a woman, you're 26, 27, 28, and you know that your guy is stepping out and fucking 19, 20-year-olds, you can't tell me that that woman isn't worried that he's going to run off with one of those women forever. And it might be okay when the relationship is perfect, but as soon as you guys start having fights and your guy doesn't come home that night, no shot that woman's not going fucking crazy.
But that's a good thing.
They need
no,
that.
hold on. This is the second big cope. This is your cope, okay?
Okay, sure. Go
This
ahead.
idea that when you go out and you compete, your woman's version of going crazy is, because this is like the story you're selling, okay? That she's going to see you stepping out as a guy. She's like, man, I need to get fit. I need to suck his dick. I need to play this. I need to do all this shit. I need to go fucking crazy to keep my man. She's going to break your shit and she's going to leave. She's going to slash your tires and she's going to leave. That's going to happen 99% of the time.
That's key.
women are inherently emotional. They like being with
Men
a
are
guy.
emotional too. What are you talking
Not
about?
the same way. Women
Not
like,
the same way, but men kill each other. Like 98% of homicides in the United States are men. You can say men aren't emotional.
Women
Anger
are,
is emotion.
women are attracted to a person that can manipulate their emotions and keep them in control, and that can make them emotional. Men are not attracted based on what makes them emotional. We're attracted visually.
Men totally. How many times you guys talk about men getting friend zoned forever by some chick that's fucked their mind up? Men absolutely can get wired this thing. No, it's not.
As soon as they get the pussy, they leave the
Friend
friendship.
zone has nothing to do with getting pussy if you're a guy. Friend zone is you're super in love with a girl and she's fucking playing with your fucking
But
mind.
ultimately, that girl who's freaking out because you're stepping out and fucking younger girls, she will not leave you. That's the misconception. Girls don't leave immediately when you cheat.
Okay, hold on. I just have to get a temperature. Do you think this applies to most women, or just like them, the women in like our world of like top 1%?
Most women, all.
Okay,
Most
that's
women,
I totally don't agree.
I mean, we established on this panel that you guys are different than.
No, I acknowledge that, but I also come from the real world too. And in that world, where I lived in Nebraska, you talk to normal people.
Nebraska?
No shot. Yeah, normal people, not in fucking Miami, right?
Yeah.
Nebraska, I lived in LA before this. I've been all over the fucking country.
shit.
So you're going to tell me there are these cities full of women that are like, oh yeah, like my guy is out, like fucking 20-year-olds. And I found that out. And when I found that out, when he cheated on me, it made me want to be
You're
a better
trying to
woman.
equate it to like
no
whole
shot.
phase women in Miami. It's just how women
No,
are.
I'm just saying in general, most relationships, the guy cheating is not going to empower the woman to be a better woman.
It's not empowering.
Listen,
It's
listen,
not
I
listen,
think
bro.
he brings
Listen,
up a good point
listen, bro.
too.
Good.
Listen, if I tell a girl, I'm like, hey, listen, you the one. If I tell her you the one, and I'm out here doing my thing, but when I come home, I still have sexual attraction for her, and that beats everything. That beats money. That beats protecting. All that is still covered. But when I come home and I'm still like, hey, like I'm giving you that time, I'm not gonna Netflix and chill with another girl. I'm not gonna sit here and pick up your ice cream for like it's only for you. It's only for you. It's not other girls. And I'm bringing that. She's the only one that gets all that. I have to make sure the only way it works is if I let her know, hey, you're the only one getting this. The other girls might get some dick on the side, but you're the only one getting the full package. And and I'll make sure I give her the best dick.
I like that.
But that's about it. Like she's gonna be like,
Why
"Damn,
wouldn't she
she's a
pick
dog."
Why wouldn't she pick someone that doesn't do that? Can I ask the why wouldn't she pick someone that doesn't do that? Like if it was the same you, but that didn't do it.
How many men can do that?
Okay, guess the top 1% of 1%.
How many men know how to make women come?
Well, the argument is that
wait, I don't even know if you guys believe in making women come. Is that a thing you guys care about?
Hell yeah, bro.
I thought somebody. Hold on.
Wait,
I thought somebody.
Well,
wait,
She had a pull real quick.
I'm eating coochie. I don't know about the rest of the relationship, but I'm not facing
I'll eat some coochie.
All right, go ahead, couch, please.
I think he brings up like a really good point about it being like we're in Miami where it's like an abundance of people, but most places aren't as big as Miami. So like you don't tolerate this bullshit because it gets around so much quicker. You know, we're in a different world out here.
That's how we feel over here. Like the three of us, we went to a small town high school. We had 300 people graduate.
Okay. If I can,
it's just totally different. Like I myself wouldn't be okay with it, but I think like what the men are trying to say here is that psychologically women cheat emotionally and it's all personal. When you sleep with someone, you look at them and you go, okay, what do I like about what I'm seeing? What do they provide for me? Women like that fact of most women, if you tell them that they want a man to choke them when they're having sex. Why is that? Because they like dominance. Like you get what I'm saying?
Sure. So
like,
the issue,
but that's where
how many women here are pursuing a career in the help field? So nursing, social worker.
Wait, nurse?
Anything like that.
I have a nonprofit.
I'm doing psychology. I mean,
psychology.
I guess we can keep this organized. We can raise a hand. So your question was who's pursuing a help or some type of nursing career?
Yeah, working in nursing, social work, like the
okay.
fields, yeah.
Is raise a hands if anybody's pursuing that? Anybody's pursuing
I
that?
have
No,
an
couch.
organization.
Okay, so we have two girls. Go ahead.
Okay, how many of you regularly do charity?
I have a nonprofit.
Okay, and both of you are just okay with this? Because this is one thing that I run into a lot with the Freshnfit podcast that I've wondered about is you guys would say, SNEAKO would say, for example, most women feel this way. And I'm like, as somebody who like does like data for a living, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is selection bias because the most common fields that women pursue is nursing, some form of help field.
Yeah.
Also, almost all charity is done by women as well. So if you're getting women in here that are regularly reporting that they're not doing charity, they're not working in these help fields, like these aren't your average women. Because I know, like if you come back to like Canada, for example, a lot of women, I think they might cope and say that they'd be okay with that. But if you really dig and you go, why would you be okay with that? It typically comes down to this like insecurity and like abandonment fear. And they're kind of like, I'm willing to accept a lesser love. But most of them would be honest and be like, but yeah, I'd prefer that this doesn't happen.
So you're saying there's a bias based on the people, the women that come on this podcast? You're saying that I have.
All right, Mo, pull up the ratio breakdowns real quick.
Yeah,
I was prepared for this one.
Show for.
Yeah, so at this point we've interviewed.
I've been on the show many
Mo,
times.
Go ahead, give the numbers real quick on the show.
1,544.
Okay, and what percentage of girls come from different states and different parts outside of Florida? 75%, something like that?
Yes, just about under 75%.
Okay, and we brought girls in from different walks of life, from people that PhDs to porn stars to strippers, etc. We brought women from all different types of walks of life. Actually, one of the most popular careers actually is nurse, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
From the women that we brought on, and most girls are interested in things that are involved social things. So I would. So is your claim like basically like the women that we bring on aren't like a good representative of like average women or normal women?
I have two hypotheses. Either that's going on, or the second hypothesis is there's a lot of coping going on. Basically, I don't know if I actually believe women when they say, "Of course I'd be okay," unless essentially they're women who are actively.
Most of the girls that come on the show say they're not okay with it.
Okay, so this is a very unique.
No,
most of the girls that come on the podcast actually that's a big reason why so many girls get kicked off the shows, because they get extremely emotional and erratic for me saying that men having sex with a lot of girls not the same as women having sex with a lot of men. That's a big thing.
Can I ask a question? Because I'm actually curious for what the women think then. How many women on this panel, so like a show of hands, would be okay being in a one-end open relationship where your man can step out and sleep with other women, but you can't sleep with other men, and it's like on level, not like you're dating fucking Leonardo DiCaprio or some shit, but you're dating a guy that's like, think of like one of your exes or somebody you could potentially, So if you're a woman and you'd be okay with that one-ended open relationship, I'm just curious, like show of hands, who'd be okay with it?
Bro, they're not raising their hands now, but they all answered the question differently before when we
Well,
were
no,
on.
but now we're asking very specifically because you guys will say shit. You'll be like, well, like, you'll use you as an example, like Leonardo DiCaprio, like celebrities. Celebrities can pull, but for the reason that I said, because that woman knows that she's never going to get a chance to be with another guy like that. So she'll tolerate a lot of bullshit.
So you're
much like,
settling.
and then much like, no. Well, the guy would be in a way, but he's not settling because he's getting everything he wants. He gets to f other women. And then he has his bang maid at home taking care of the
No,
house.
but you're saying that you don't want to become the Leonardo DiCaprio type.
I don't, because that's not the type of woman I'm generally looking for. But if you're with a woman who's okay with it being one-sided open, I feel like that's what you're everything towards. And then also what people, because you guys always talk about,
I don't understand what type of woman you're talking
the
about.
type of woman that will let you step, that you have a lot of leverage over.
So what do you think about those type of those types
I'm not here to pass judgment. People can live their
No,
life.
I want to hear what you think.
No, I don't care. It's all good.
But that's
but because you guys are pushing it as though that should be the normal, or we use like the weird, like the chimpanzee experience.
That
We say it should
question
be
like,
normal.
makes no sense.
It makes no sense. You see,
the average guy can't do it. We know this.
No, I understand, but that's why I'm saying for people that are dating roughly, because most people date within their league, right?
Yeah.
Just
Most
a person
people are-
that's making
most
average
men or
money that
most-
doesn't have
or
any
most men and women are dating within their league.
I don't know per se, but I mean,
Okay, they are. That's the definition of a league.
Men who they can though.
Sure, men will they can, but most people are dating roughly within their league. So I'm saying, because when you guys ask questions, you'll be like, "What?"
Because think about it, the girl that's like not working a job at Target or at least Target is getting high value guys that are like successful.
Yeah, I'd argue
Wait,
women.
hold on. No, she's not.
Yes, she is.
No, she's not.
She can.
Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, like, dude, there could be.
I'm sorry. Hold on. For the men on this podcast, who would date a woman working at Target?
I would.
They would.
Bullshit. That's coke. That's fucking coke. You guys are coke. That is more coke than I've seen from any woman.
You talk about super
That's more coke than I've seen from any woman.
My last girl worked at Chick-fil-A.
How long ago did you date?
Like 2 years ago.
I don't.
Wait, you talk a lot about
You guys
materialism.
started this podcast like 2 years ago.
You talk
like
a
year
lot
and half
about
ago.
finances and the status and stuff like that. That seems really biased that you're looking down at people who work these
It's
jobs.
not about
but then
looking
you
down.
call it superficial
That's
if you want to date a young woman. But what's wrong with
That's-
Chick-fil-A?
hold on.
You talk so much about materialistic and about how money's the only thing that matters. But then here you go,
Hold on.
fucking
That's
Pizza Hut is bad.
That's a young man's energy. Okay, listen. It's not about. It's not about looking down on people that date at Target. There's nothing or that work.
You're looking down on them.
I'm not looking down.
That's
on anybody.
exactly what you just said. Like, oh my god, you guys would date a Pizza Hut girl?
He's
Okay,
pointing
hold
to
on.
reality.
No, hold on. There's a lot of coke going on right now. If you guys brought in a successful man and he walked in and his woman was wearing a f***ing McDonald's outfit, all of you would be wondering what the f*** is going on. No matter how hot that woman is, all of you guys would be looking at the guy like, I don't know what's going on here.
Not really.
The reality successful. I mean, that's the same question. If your girl had nothing going for herself, for the most part, would you date her? What did it say? Yes, they don't care.
That's called a cope. That's a cope.
No,
you don't think men cope like women do? That's absolutely
Bro,
right.
I mean, Destiny,
The reality is that here's the reality. Here's the real red pill, I guess. If you guys haven't had it yet, okay? People are dating. People are dating within their league. Celebrities date
You
celebrities.
have a female idea of relationships. We don't think about leagues.
You absolutely do.
No, I don't. I want to be with a woman that's nice. That's cool.
You
that
want
can
to
be nurtured.
pick up women on this podcast because you're around the women on this podcast. That's what's happening.
I'm picking women everywhere.
Sure, but I'm saying generally it's going to be people in your
Wait,
league. That's
you-
generally people
wait,
you're dating. That's
you-
generally people that get married. That's why celebrities date celebrities.
But
YouTubers
Are
date
you putting
YouTubers.
us in his league
Like-
just because we're on this podcast?
No, yeah, well, you're in the same area. You guys are like doing the same type
You're
of shit.
making me
That's
sound
super
like a
normal.
feminist now.
That's reality.
So
There's
Destiny,
people generally.
Destiny, I'll say this:
man,
we've brought many successful multimillionaires on, whether they're in the music industry, actors, comedians, whatever it may be. And I will say, resounding, almost all of them. I think you're the only millionaire that came on that cared about a woman's income. Every other guy said no, I don't care whatsoever. And what I've come to realize is that as men make more money, they're more and more tolerant of a woman not making money.
Facts.
But the less money they make, typically, the more they want the girl to contribute and chip in.
Yes.
So
not
Because
money.
you
So
want
I'm
the
not talking
power over
about.
them.
Yeah, I'm not talking about money.
Yeah,
He's looking
But
for a
why
woman
would
to make
you
a lot of
want
money.
that?
What I'm saying is that he probably wants a woman that's got her shit together and like doing stuff.
Talk about general population.
Yeah, like I would be, or maybe it is, and if it is, that's a lot sadder for the men than anything else. If you're a multimillionaire guy and you're dating a woman because she's hot on Instagram, that says more about your life than anything else.
But that's what I'm trying to say is that these
so if you're a
successful
multimillionaire
guys-
and you got a woman who doesn't make a lot of money, she's probably like running a nonprofit, doing shit for your business. She's out like communicating. She's doing shit.
Yeah.
She's not just like a
the
random
women
person
on
that
this
works at
podcast
Chick-fil-A or
that
whatever.
You just said that was in his league for.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm confused about.
When I say in league, I mean like you're roughly in the same areas working on the same shit. So everybody, well,
I
at least for
wouldn't
you
even
guys.
say so. Like we all came on this show because we all wanted to express our personal opinions, and I think that every woman on this panel can agree that just because we don't personally want a man like that, we can agree that women and men are different in every aspect. So I do not want a man that steps out on me, right? Because that's me personally. But I do have the ability to think logically that men think with their dick and women think with their head.
Do you want a man who's similarly attractive to you?
Huh?
Do you want a man like you're gorgeous, right? Do you want a guy who's similarly attractive to you? Like around the range,
absolutely.
like within 3 points probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
But I also
do you want a
believe-
guy who's probably got some similar values? Like what are some values? Family?
You're literally proving my point here.
No,
though.
I'm proving Steven's
But
point.
my point is that women, we can have our own opinions, but you have to think like universally. Like I understand where they're coming from. Now, would I put up with what they're saying? No.
Well, most of them said they wouldn't do the one-sided
So
relationship.
there was a couple. There was like a multi-pronged thing here because there were so many different threads of conversation. So the first thing was men caring about women's income. We found resoundingly, we brought billionaires on, multimillionaires. They don't care.
Yeah.
The second thing is you mentioned.
On the first thing, to be clear, these guys need to like the stream.
Yeah, like the goddamn video. There's 21,000 of you guys in here.
Stream, okay? I wasn't talking about money for the first one, but go ahead.
What was the other thing that we were discussing? I just slipped my mind.
I remember you agreed with all of it.
Girls that come on the show.
You're like, damn, that was a good point.
Of girls that come on the show.
Oh yeah, we talked about the demographic of girls. They're from all different, pretty much almost all 50 states.
And then,
so it is a pretty good representation of girls. We bring girls on, and I know that's like a tip. You only bring Miami girls on. That's a common critique. We actually do bring girls on from all different types of walks, which I don't expect you to know that unless you watch the show all the time. But we've been keeping stats. Damn it, I forgot. It'll come back to me. But did anyone else have a point? I saw someone else had their hand.
We have 21K watching, only 8.4K likes. Come on, guys.
Yeah, like the goddamn video. This is a very good discussion.
15K.
So what I'm saying to you is essentially like Steven is saying we broadly date within our leagues, right? For the most part.
That's what it was.
So if
women date outside of their leagues, that's what I was going to say.
No, they don't.
Women date. I'll explain. I'll explain real quick.
Please.
I'll explain.
I'll tell you why you're wrong.
So okay, sure.
Come back.
So they found studies, right, that women that are average looking get far more messages, like pretty much the same amount, if not more messages than guys that are in the top 1% of attractive looks. So what I'm saying is that with the emergence of social media, online dating apps, how the world is interconnected in general, women that are average looking have access to extremely high status men. And not only that, these high status men talk to these girls. So what happens is girls no longer look at their localized dating marketplace. They're looking elsewhere because now with planes, the internet, etc., women are able to date way above their league.
How many guys are dating women way below their league, though? Like, if you're a guy and you've got the pick of the litter, why would you pick a mid girl? You would fuck a mid girl on Tinder, and this is why I don't like the matches on dating apps, because you can fuck a lot if you're a top 1% guy, but you're not going to date every random fucking girl that you can.
Hold on. I got my rebuttal to that. Here's the problem: when girls are able to fuck a certain caliber of guy, a lot of girls attribute their self-worth to that caliber of guy and think I can also retain a guy on this level.
Exactly.
That's what I'm trying to say. So they get access to these guys, they get flown out by these guys, they have sex with these guys, and then they think, you know what? I can get this kind of guy. And this is why so many women are delusional, quite frankly, with all due respect, as to where their value stands, because they conflate their sexual market value attraction with their relationship market value attraction. I pulled a guy that was an NBA player. I dated a rapper. I had sex and got flew out by an actor, but they think they can actually retain that guy. And that's what happens, is because it's very difficult for women once they experience a certain type of lifestyle to regress.
I agree with everything you're saying, but that's because it's completely at odds with what you just said, though. A woman can fuck way above her league.
Absolutely.
But she can't date above her league. Because people generally
She don't know
date
that.
within their
I agree,
league.
but she doesn't know that. That's what I'm trying to say.
She might not know it, but she's not dating outside of her league. That people are roughly dating. Now, there might be more single, miserable women because they have an overinflated sense of ego because too many guys are liking their Instagram pictures.
And that's what I'm saying.
But they're still not dating outside the league. Generally, we date within our leagues.
But here's the thing. Girls will sit there, have sex with a guy 3-4 times and say, I'm dating him, to cope with the fact that the guy only uses them as sex and they think that they're going to get something more. Because what does that guy do? He dangles a fucking carrot. Lifestyle. Oh yeah, you're. I totally like you. You're so cool. I like your vibe. But in reality, he's having sex with 5-10 other girls.
Sure, yeah,
she kind of knows it, but she's kind of wants to be aloof to it because she's like, I'm with this kind of guy. And here's the thing: this might be controversial, but this is what I mean when I say girls will share a loser willingly over being with a they'll share a winner willingly versus being with a loser all to themselves
Until she turns 28, 29, 30.
And that's when she starts to she starts to look at guys that are a little bit more also nice guys. She starts to give them a chance. But what I'm saying is that with Instagram, Tinder, dating apps, etc., a lot of women have an overinflated sense of self-worth. They've dated a rapper before. I guarantee every single girl at this table probably has met a celebrity, been invited to some kind of celebrity situation, and or maybe been hit on by a guy of way higher status than themselves or dated a millionaire. Ask the guys here. We're not going to get opportunities like that unless we become a somebody. So what I'm saying is that a lot of girls conflate their self-worth to that type of guy and think they can actually attract that guy, which is why so many women are delusional. I brought women on this panel and asked them, what kind of guy do you want? Every single time, 9 out of 10 times, I want a guy that's 6 foot plus, 100 grand a year, attractive in shape, etc. And they think that these guys are walking around all over the place.
And it's fine.
But they don't realize that guy is less than 1% of the population. But why do they have this skewed perception of reality? It's because they deal with these guys all the time. These guys hit them up all the time. And they have an unreal perception about how rare these guys actually are, is what I've come to realize. A lot of girls, quite frankly, are very, very delusional as to what the average man is. When I tell them the average man is actually 5'8" and makes about 40 to 50K per year. What? What are you talking about? That's a fucking lie. Not in my reality. I'm around high status guys all the time.
We're also in Miami too, though. Like that's
true.
That is the
but
case.
We've brought women. The scary
you brought
part is
women that have come to Miami, though.
Yeah, but these girls are from all over.
Yeah,
the place.
but the women that are going to
They
Miami.
go to Miami for research.
What they want.
You don't fly people out from different states.
Yeah, you're not flying no women out from Iowa.
Yeah, you don't do that.
No. But we brought girls from Iowa. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, I don't think you guys understand. Instagram, dating apps, the internet has changed the game.
The landscape.
Yeah, but in Miami, the game is so much different than any of. Even in LA, it's not as crazy as this fucking place.
In Pennsylvania, Timbuktu, they're still on Instagram, bro. They can get flown out. It doesn't matter where you are.
I think it's the same everywhere. If you're in a major city, like you're gonna be fucking people.
That's because you're a girl. You get 20,000.
Yeah, I moved around a lot, so I've lived in a lot of different cities. And if you're in a very populated area, like people are hooking up. They're right because you're on the dating apps. If you're living in East Bumblefuck, then you're living in East Bumblefuck. So if you're in a city, Philly, New York, Miami, LA, Vegas, it's all the fucking same. It is literally all the same.
I don't know, man. The Miami place has been different than.
I've been to Dallas, Vegas, LA. It really is.
And here's the other thing too, Destiny. Like, let's be honest. What do young, attractive girls typically want to do? They want to go to the major cities.
Yes.
And when they go to the major cities, who's going to be there? Higher earning, higher status men. And a lot of girls will get on a date. I'm telling you, man, average girls easily can get a date with a multimillionaire or a successful guy, and they'll think to themselves, this is the type of guy that I can retain. And the reality is they can't.
Yo,
they
the landscape is, right? Imagine this. Girls that are in school, 22, 24, 25, right? They're hot, attractive, and they don't want to date guys that are on the same age. They want mature guys that are successful, have lifestyle. They get flown all the time too. I'm just saying, women normally date above their league. Go ahead.
So here's a question I have to you guys. Do you want to be in a committed relationship with these women?
Yes.
Us in general, or do you mean
the women that you're describing that basically think that because they can sleep with a really like high league man that they're dating or whatever? Are these the women that you typically, or what is the woman that the high value man wants?
Well, you wouldn't want to ask these guys because these guys are like top one. Everyone here is like,
No,
like what a
I'm
normal
asking
guy
them,
wants.
what do you guys like? What do the HVMs want? Like, what do high value men want in a woman as for like a wifey? What do you guys?
Let me tell you something. Why that high value man would be okay with a girl that works at Target, because she would be that ideal a lot easier than a girl who would like be posting bikini pics. I think somebody said that on IG. He would be like, you know what, Target, this chick is easier to be like, you know what, this is what I want. And that's all I need you to be.
Because it's intimidating. I don't know what high value
that's
male.
It. It's not
because
anything.
Does that mean that there's other people that would try to find that?
I think her being feminine, her actually understanding, you know what, my man is a man. I'm going to play my role. Her understanding, you know what, this dynamic here that's going on. If I can listen to my man, he can lead me the right way. I'm cool with that. Most guys want that.
You probably want a woman who would invest in you. She's loyal.
That adds value to your life.
Right? She's interested in,
don't
for
fuck
example,
up my peace. That's it.
There you go.
You fuck up my peace.
Right. She's going to want to support you in your endeavors. If you're a high value guy, you're some sort of entrepreneur. Like you're making money somehow, which means you're probably intelligent. You're good at business, right? There's a bunch of things going for you that has made you be in this category. The reality is that like, if all you want is like a woman who's attractive and replaceable, that's not a woman who's going to invest a lot into you. Typically the women that you guys talk about, low body count, right? Decently intelligent. She's willing to support you, which I'm gonna be honest, whether we like it or not, most women are actually pretty willing to like fall into like pretty traditional gender roles in relationships.
If they work at Target.
Well, here's I'll give myself as an example, but I don't think that I'm an enigma, right? I think in a lot of ways I have a very low body count. One, I've only slept with my husband, right?
Stop the cap.
I know.
Chris.
It's true. Well,
okay, go ahead.
The reason you have to believe is I came from fundy Christian land, right? And so like in my life, sex was the most shameful thing ever. And so this idea, so when I met my husband, he worked at a homeless shelter. He was a high school dropout, but I met him and he had like such incredible quality to him. I knew that he could be something more and I was willing to invest in him. This is similar to like, if you look at Jeff Bezos and his wife, she met him before he was rich. There's a lot of women who are willing to do that. They'll see a guy and they'll be like, he can be something.
See,
And
but
I
they
wanna
only
be
have to
behind
put in the
it.
work though too. You can't just do everything for them. They gotta like be willing to do that shit.
I
Because I've
agree.
helped some guys and then they're still like just fucking losers.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you're
then
like,
they rely on you.
yeah, and it's like
I agree.
But
You have
can
to
you
find
agree
a
that
quality guy.
that mindset, she still wants money? Because the ambition and the future leads to the money. So regardless of the fact, she still wants a guy with money.
Sure, in a lot of these relationships, I do think that like a woman looks at a competent guy and does think that he can provide stability and whatnot. And I think that that's fine. I have no problem with women having that preference in a long-term relationship. What I'm saying is, if you're this guy who provides all of these things, the woman that you're looking for, the dating strategy you're outlining isn't going to keep the women who are willing to invest in you, right? Women with pretty low body counts that are typically like doing something for themselves, they might be willing to fall in behind and support your business, but they're maybe going to school. They have some sort of goals. They exercise. They take pretty good care of themselves. They've got a healthy relationship with their family. They have friends. These women generally are not going to be comfortable with the idea of being replaceable. And I think it's going to derail your relationship.
But I think that your values are based on like women on this scale, and the things that you're saying that women value, men don't give a shit about. That's the problem. Respectfully, you named a whole list of things that are very ethical from a women's lens. Like
No,
if a girl wanted to fuck a girl,
So
yeah.
this
but,
is
like,
where I think
don't
men
give a
cope.
fuck.
This is where I think
Facts.
men cope all the time. We've already
Sure.
agreed on this panel. Men are killing themselves at a higher rate. They're depressed as fuck. They're addicted. They're homeless, and they're dominantly working really awful labor jobs.
Really risky jobs too.
Yeah,
right? But nobody cares though.
Nobody cares
Nobody
about them.
cares.
I agree. But this is the issue, is that if we have a dating strategy that consistently repeats the idea of I don't give a fuck about him, all I care about is his wallet, that's a terrible relationship.
See, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying for women is when they do invest that much time and emotion into a guy, they ultimately hold that as a leverage when they don't get what they want. And then it becomes toxic regardless. Anytime any woman that's ever invested that much in a guy and she sees him do something that she doesn't like, she holds that over him. And now it's toxic. Like you invest that time to him and you don't feel like it's fair. You just don't feel. It's not even exact. Then you start holding like shit like, I'm not cooking. I'm not putting out. I'm not doing this. And the next thing you know, it goes toxic. So you're thinking you're putting in investing into a guy as if that matters to him. They don't need, if a guy's making this much money, he doesn't give a fuck about your $20, your $50, your $100 if he's providing all the above.
You know what he does care about? That when he comes home, that you tell him that you love him. That when he falls asleep, he feels your body again.
That's what I mean.
I want to be your dream, baby. I need to be your dream. I need you to be stalking me. I need you to be thinking about me. I hope he's not fucking another
So you brought
girl
up some
in the
good
back.
points here. You mentioned that, women care about a man's wallet. That's a terrible thing. Okay, so this is a perfect example of operating in should, could, and would. The problem is I operate on what is. The reality is this. Feminism has effectively killed the nuclear family. It's hurt relationships to a significant degree because what's happened is we have a deregulated dating marketplace. And we have a deregulated dating marketplace. What does that mean? Well, anyone can hook up with anyone unless there's, as long as there's an age of consent, correct? So when you leave women to their own devices, what do? They pick the best of the best. Well, guess what when you pick the best of the best? These guys don't want to commit. So my thing is this. I know that you're saying like, hey, you want a woman with values, etc. But I noticed that you had some pretty serious buffers here. You grew up in a fairly rural area, Christian family, strong family values. Most women don't have these things, okay? And you are a gross exception. You had one body count. Nowadays, if you take an average woman, she's going to have a higher body count than an average guy. You take an average 21-year-old girl, she's running her laps around an average 21-year-old guy when it comes to sexuality and dealing with opposite gender in general. So I get it. It's fucked up that like a lot of guys live miserable lives, etc. But the reality is women don't give a fuck. So what I have to do is I have to give guys advice to deal with the sexual marketplace today, not 1950 when women were ladies, but today, feminized, masculine women that quite frankly put their careers over everything else. That's the reality. So knowing that, I tell guys, you got to get out there and get experience as well, because being a gentleman, being a nice guy, chivalry will put you in a very bad light. So I get what you're saying. It's fucked up that this is the way it is, but we got to operate on what is. So feminism has destroyed relationships, in my opinion, not necessarily the guys. The way men are responding with the depression and the sadness, etc., and the higher suicide rates, that's kind of a response to feminism a lot of the times, because a lot of guys really, really struggle with dealing with women. However, women have no problem with dealing with the opposite gender. 1 in 3 men now is either a virgin or hasn't had sex in a year. Women don't experience that same problem. If they are a virgin or celibate, it's by choice. With men, it's not.
And I'm surprised you even said that problem. I talked about that on the last show we were on, and the girl's just like, who hurt you? You say it's giving insecurity when I was talking about the same exact things that you're talking about. Most women don't care. So we need this like podcast like this to help men because you won't.
So I would agree that women don't care. The issue is here's two things I would say. First of all, the idea of like a low body count, it's not all it's cracked up to be. I can tell you that personally. Fundamentally,
once I played Apex, Call of Duty became slow paced. Like when I played Call of Duty and all, it's like, oh, shit, you can take your time. Because bro, Apex trying to shoot someone is the worst, bro. Like they will slide, jump, climb, because that has like fuck, I really I did the mistake of listening to surround sound, bro.
Bro,
well said.
Okay, so if I'm teaching people to be greater, like how the hell you going?
I don't know if anybody's like jerked off to like the HBO and Showtime when it's all fucking blurred out on the TV when you're trying to sophisticated enough to control like the thoughts and opinions of the population. I think it's a feedback loop. It's like a mirror. People think a certain thing, then the government kind of reflects it, and then they can push us in a little bit of a way. We can push them. Or you were going to say, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, MJ. Bro, to that point, like that's where I understand you. Where you mean, hey, most people are morally in check, but you know he's selling dope. But yeah, that's wrong. But he's providing for his family. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, but then we talk about
like there's always this kind of like ideological confusion about like what do we actually
violent criminals or drug dealers who are going to really feel, or poor people who really are going to feel the effects of systemic racism.
Ruth, Marta, Sheila, Alejandra, Yvonne, and Nicolette are my soulmates. We met through the
daughter of an elfin. Yeah.
Good God, Dennis Bukowski.
Oh.
Why'd you say that? Her. She puts up with me, but I think she's gonna burn all her hair off with all that bleach. Little shit ass runaway. Fuck.
Yeah, see? You get to pick and choose what you want to be a part of. We don't get to.
You think that's easier?
I'm just saying that you don't have to deal with the same things.
They were both into this role playing.
Christian orgasm at
To
a
you.
37% less rate. They also have vaginismus at almost 40% more than other women, to the point where it's so bad that often penetration isn't even possible. So when there's this shame attached to women around sexuality, it has a very pernicious effect on the women. Right?
Okay, and I understand that, but what if I told you that having a guy that's 6'3" isn't all it's cracked up to be? They're really
wholly agree with you.
But here's the thing: most women wouldn't. They would say, "Well, fuck you, I still want him." So what I'm saying is that
Because
you're
it's like
saying,
materialistic women.
well, it's not that. It's you're hardwired to be attracted to it. So like, if I could tell you a guy that's 6'4" isn't all it's cracked up to be. His likelihood to die at a younger age is higher. He's gonna have a smaller dick, whatever. I could say all the things I want to say, but women are still gonna be hardwired to be attracted to that guy because it's carnal. It's like, oh, he's tall, he can provide security. So with men, same thing. She has a low body count. Oh, she's a virgin. Oh, I'm attracted to that because I know that my ability to have children with her, it's secure, because women want security when it comes to resources and finances. Men want security and paternity. We're very different. So you can say that like if having sex with a virgin sucks and blah blah blah.
No,
men are still gonna want it. Just like if I tell a girl you don't want a guy that's 6'6", she's still gonna want it.
And that's cap. That's cap because like y'all know y'all got toys. Don't play that game. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't say penetration hurts. You be going ahead with that penetration, baby. I know you're already doing it. Don't
I wanted
gotta
to go back to what we were talking about before, because I grew up with a lot of guys, right? So I understand more of a male mentality over women. And as I got older, I understand women more now. And I feel like one of the things I feel really bad about men is like the huge pressure of toxic masculinity put on you guys because you grow up and it's like you're not allowed to cry. You got to be strong. You got to be tough. You got to do this. You got to do that. And that's why I feel like a lot of men don't know how to properly communicate or express themselves because society just pushes you down, And it's like if you had a little bit more like love and tenderness in you, you would be able to communicate your feelings better and you would be able to love properly. And it just sucks that society really does put that on you guys. And I feel like me, like with my guy friends, with a guy that I'm dating, I really do try to have like those sit down talks with them, you know, because a lot men and women, a lot of people aren't over their past problems. They just want to shove it down. They don't want to face their fears. They're not accepting what happened to them. No, but it's serious. It's serious. In general, all of us, you know, you need to accept what happened. You don't forget it. You need to accept it and learn from it and move on from it so you don't affect another person the way that you've been affected. I feel like everybody likes to be on that hamster wheel and that's fucked up.
Well,
especially for men, I feel so bad for guys.
Real quick,
like,
I just want to say one thing. I think toxic masculinity doesn't exist. I think it's a lie propagated by the left to try to go ahead and insult masculinity. And then number two, I don't think men should be vulnerable with women ever. I genuinely don't think that women are not equipped to, and this might be a controversial take, but I genuinely...
We all should be open with each other, though. That's how you create a better community.
I don't think so, and I'll tell you why. Women are not equipped to handle masculine problems. Men and women live different existences. There's a burden
but that's
performance.
why, like, men have those problems, and it's like...
But here's the thing. You're not equipped to deal with them. If I sit there and I
don't
cry
need
to you
to deal with it, but I hope that you could talk to me so that you could deal with it better.
No,
we're going to talk to another guy about it. I feel like guys don't even talk to each other.
So what I say is, I tell guys all the time, women are not equipped to handle your problems because men and women experience different realities.
But you guys like actually sit down and talk to each other about it.
Can I finish? What I'm saying is that women are not equipped to handle male problems. So therefore, if you do have problems, you need to go and confide with men that share your experiences that you can trust and you respect. You don't tell women your problems because here's the problem. If you tell a girl that you like your problems, what you're doing is you're showing vulnerability. That vulnerability is going to be, how do I say this? It's going to make her lose attraction for you because women value security. If I'm supposed to be the leader, the rock in the relationship, right? The dominant guy, then I sit there and I cry and I'm not sure where I'm going. Oh my God, I don't know what's going on. And I'm crying to you. Well, you're going to start to doubt my leadership capabilities. And a byproduct of that is you're going to lose attraction for me. Now, again, going back to what I was saying, you might say, not really, I don't agree with that. The truth is female arousal. No, you guys don't know what you're aroused by. So if I know, some girls might be able to tolerate, some girls can't. Why would I take that risk and open up Pandora's box and open up vulnerability to you when I know, number one, you can handle it. Number two, the chances of you losing attraction to me go up. And I don't know what's going to happen. Why not just tell guys that actually deal with my problems and know what the masculine burner performance is? Because the reality is this. You can call me sexist, call me misogynist, whatever you want to say. Mediocrity is only accepted from women. Men can't afford to be mediocre because as a woman, if you're mediocre, if you're attractive, you can still find a rich man. As a man, if you're mediocre, you're fucked.
How do most mediocre men have wives? How do you have, because most men are mediocre, right?
But they're failing more now.
So I think that goes with like how women are nowadays because they don't realize their value. So everyone's just a hoe. So if you're I'm gonna be really blunt. I'm gonna be really blunt. If a girl's a hoe and you go out there and you fuck all these guys thinking, oh, I'm gonna challenge and be better, it's not gonna happen. He's gonna fuck you, he's gonna fuck her, he's gonna fuck everyone, and you're like, well, he's shitty. Maybe you're shitty. And that's if a girl fucks 80 guys, not one of them wanted to wife you up. Not one said, you know what, this shit was bomb. You gotta stay here. I'm just saying. Like to me, to that extent, if a girl's really, and I'm speaking from my own experience, where if you ain't shit, you're really not gonna get shit. Like if you do level the fuck up as a woman with discipline, emotionally, physically, social media, all that stuff, you can get a guy to be like, you know what? I might need to calm the fuck down. I should probably stop going out because I'm not going to be one like her.
If that's what you're looking for.
W in the chat.
Okay.
Real quick, let's do a quick super chat.
I'll say a quick super chat, but Destiny, you had something and then you had something before?
Man, there's so much to unpack.
You had something? Okay, I can read the chats real quick and then
Go for it.
Okay.
I do have a question.
Sure, shoot.
Destiny, what age did you start being an open relationship? When did y'all get married exactly?
So this is technically my first real one.
Okay.
And then we got married probably last year.
Okay.
At the beginning of the year. Yeah, December.
How long have y'all known each other?
I think about 3 years. Yeah, about 3 or 4 years. Yeah.
And have y'all always been open or
Yes.
From the minute y'all met each other?
Mm-hmm.
And how did you communicate that? Like immediately?
The only
she
relationships,
started,
yeah.
She
The only-
started, sorry, go ahead.
The only relationships that I've done has been open or poly. Okay. And you had cheating problems. So he
So I
thought
figured
it
if
would
I
be
was going to do that in
perfect.
a relationship, I might as well. Yeah, she brought the idea. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, that actually sounds really good. Yeah.
That's so cute.
So communication is like out of this world for you too.
Yeah, communication is really important.
Right.
Like
And that's-
these guys are on some wild, everybody should do open relationship, whatever bullshit. I think that most people, like 95 or 98% of people should be closed relationships because the jealousy happens. If somebody's fighting, somebody steps out, there's like, it's additional drama. Like you end up fucking a friend of a friend. I think for most people, open relationships as well. But
It's
obviously,
already going to be a mega dramatic from other people's ways too.
Everything
and,
is,
you know.
We agree on that. We're saying that men are suppressing what they naturally want, though.
Yeah.
That's
We're
correct.
not-
That's
most
okay.
men
Hold
have
on.
to.
Hold on. Jesus. All of you trigger me so much. Suppressing part of your natural urges is what it means to be a good person. You know that, right? Because a lot of you guys talk about natural urges. Yes, that's part of being an adult. Is not just doing what you want all the time or not going after everything you want. That's being a kid. That's being a child. The idea that men want pussy all the time is true. The idea that sure you can say that, but you can't say that to just women. You got to do this part of a man too. It's part of your job as building a family. Especially when a lot of you guys, I don't know if you do this here, but I see a lot of people in the red pill community run around with this bullshit Christian or Islamic rhetoric or whatever. You're not going to find that shit in there where they're telling you to have like 20 hoes or whatever. At home, it's never going to fucking happen. So yeah, I mean, if you want to preach the traditional values and shit,
you can have 4 hoes.
Maybe in Islam, maybe if there's like a special fucking rule set to do it or whatever.
But see, definitely.
I'm just saying that argument that like this is what they naturally want. That excuse doesn't work anywhere else. No. People want to sleep until 2 o'clock every day. People want to play video games 15 hours a day. People want to drink all the time. People want to do meth, heroin,
No,
et cetera, et
that's
cetera.
the short
Part
term
of-
happiness.
part of all of those like natural urges.
You're talking about dopamine. You're talking about
you don't think dopamine is in porn and pussy?
It's not porn. Porn's a difference, but just being the man that you can have multiple women around long term.
There's a difference between being a man that can do things. There's a
dopamine
difference
hit.
between being a man that can do things and being a man that has to succumb to every single fucking natural urge.
Not every single one. That's a
Who
main
said
one.
that?
That's a natural thing that
Who
makes
said
men
that?
happy. That's
The
different than
argument-
watching porn. You cannot equate that to doing heroin. You can't equate a woman to heroin.
You can equate porn to new pussy that you fuck one time. Absolutely.
No, but you can't
It's the same hit. You feel good for a little bit.
That
You
shit
walk
is
on.
good,
It's the
but-
same. Yeah, just like jerking off is. It's
I don't know about
eventually
that.
novelty pussy. Novelty pussy
I
is you
myself.
f- it and then you move on. It's
But
like
the problem is, I don't think they are for pleasure. I think they're just for
body
status.
count,
That's
yeah.
what it is. That's why you don't
so-
like because if you didn't care, like if you care about pleasure, you could just jerk off. But you obviously care about status, or like I have all
No.
these women, and that's what makes me feel good about
And
myself.
it's funny because on one track too, you guys talk about the social credit that men get when they're seen with other women, but men also do the social credit thing with each other, where we brag about like our body count, and that's where the value comes
That's what
in
you
as well.
feel good about. Because
Yeah.
I have one question. I have a question.
Okay.
What are you?
So
wait. Can I ask something?
So
Actually,
because I just got to address real quick so Destiny, I think we're talking past each other here. All I'm saying is that so with women, right? Remember, I explained it from the beginning to end, but I'll just say it one more time. Women want security from one guy, typically. Men want sex with a bunch of women. What I'm saying is that if that woman's sexual strategy is accomplished, she got the best guy that she can get. Why can't the guy get his sexual strategy accomplished and have women as well? That's my argument because both parties are happy. So why is it that her sexual strategy overrides his?
I think we have to go out of the world of the purely descriptive, like super fundamental Evo psych terms, because
But we got to start a foundation though.
We can start it at a foundation, but then we have to get out of that with some real world shit. So everything you say about like babies and security is completely wrong. You are losing control of your man's financial well-being. If you guys all agree that men get fucked in child support and divorce, the last thing you want is a guy that's fucking other women. Full stop. There's no cope around that. There's no other way to get around that. Because you as a guy, when you impregnate another woman, you've lost all fucking control. That woman owns you now for 18 years on child support.
That's where you don't be an idiot, but they still want to have sex.
Now you can say don't be an idiot.
Yeah,
But the reality is,
you're not supposed to get other girls pregnant.
Yeah,
Like,
you're not
obviously-
supposed to. Sure, there's a lot of things you're not supposed to do, but it will happen. And if you want to talk about stats and probabilities, hold on. How many fucking NBA players are paying fucking child support to some random bitch they're not done? So if they can't keep their shit under control, no way is the average motherfucker. And you got girls emptying out condoms and shit.
Destiny, you're making that the real world experience that hey, you could potentially get this girl pregnant, right? Well, okay, why aren't girls being more careful about their box if they can potentially get pregnant? It's a lot of
Girls are crazy and try to trap guys.
I don't want to get pregnant because my line of work.
We're missing the whole point here.
We're in your world. We're in the world of sexual strategy. The girl wants to get pregnant because now she can get the guy's resources, right? That should be the girl's objective, right?
We miss the point. What I'm saying is that one party sexual strategy is fulfilled. The woman has the best guy that she can get. My thing is, why is it that the male sexual strategy of wanting to have multiple women is such a problem? I'm looking at it like the girl gets what she wants. The guy should be able to get what he wants too. Obviously, he's got to exercise some discretion, not be an idiot. He should be wearing a condom. He should be bringing diseases back, etc. He's got to do it intelligently. But what I am saying is that both parties can coexist with that, especially if it's made up front with that arrangement. My thing is this. Most guys, if you put a guy in a dark room by himself and say, listen, bro, you got your main girl. You want to have sex with other girls. She's closed on her end.
No one
and she's not going to get mad at you. Guys want that.
You're describing for the 50th time. No one disagrees with that. Men want to fuck a lot of women.
Yeah.
But you keep saying a woman's optimal sexual strategy is locking down one guy.
Yes.
He's not locked down if he's fucking other women. So you're fundamentally wrong.
No,
guy
she's getting security from him. She's getting security.
Yes, that's not security.
I would argue she's getting security.
Do you think your guy has a higher chance of leaving you or a lower chance if you're out fucking other younger women?
Statistically speaking, men don't leave women. Women leave men.
That wasn't my question.
What are you talking?
Statistically speaking, what do you think is more likely for a relationship to end? Is if a guy's stepping out of fucking other women, do you think it's more likely that he'll leave, that relationship will end, or that the relationship will stay together if he's monogamous?
Here's the thing: if he has sex with other girls,
gotta answer the
just answer.
Yeah,
It should be easy for you.
No, they're gonna
It should be easy.
If he's having sex with other girls, they're gonna stick together.
You think there's a high? I think that's coke.
I literally explained it earlier why the girl's gonna stay and why the guy is gonna.
What you're
I
doing
explained
is
it earlier.
you take like these really basic like Evo Psych analyses about like optimal sexual strategy. You don't apply them at all how it would work in the real world. For instance, like the security thing where you have less security with a man that is fucking other women. That's a fact.
How?
Yes.
Well, I
What do you mean how? Because he can get another woman pregnant? Because he could leave you for a
It's
younger
not
woman?
a guilty. The only reason why a monogamous man would leave that girlfriend that's solid by him and he cheats one time, it's a guilty pleasure that he's been fiending for forever. If the guy is he's already getting pussy and he's still coming back to her and he stays there, he's not gonna leave.
Keep in mind, I already described the safeguards. I described having children,
She liked that.
being married,
She
having a
doesn't like
house.
that. No one
All
likes
these
it.
things are tenements that are going to keep that guy around.
At some point, if you
That's what I'm saying. The girl's got to be smart enough to get the title.
To
get the children.
If you locked them down
I
with
mentioned
kids
this
and house,
earlier,
maybe,
Destiny.
sure. But again, but the problem is you go into these like 1% of the 1% of the 1% scenarios, and then you try to blow it out to everybody. The reality is like everybody's not going to have like 3 kids, a house, and a guy that's never going to fucking leave. Because those guys,
I agree.
will
Most guys
cheat
can't.
too.
I agree. Most guys can't do it. But what I'm saying is that it works that way. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think it does work though. That's what I'm saying. I don't think there are a lot of these one and over relationships. This is like this is like a celeb only. This is celebrity. This is celebrity only.
There's more of them than I think both open-ended.
Maybe, but both open-ended are rare too. But they're like 1% of like normal monogamous relationships.
I'm not arguing that it's not rare. I'm simply arguing I'm arguing that it works because both genders are getting what they want. It's just that I've said it before. The man's value has to be high for this to work. Sure. I am not doubting that
if
whatsoever.
the man's value is higher, then the woman is by default settling, or the man is to some extent settling with the woman too.
But men are
Or
okay
the
with
woman
that. Men are okay with dating down. Women are not though.
Yeah, I guess if you're okay
because the woman's need is satisfied. See, it all makes sense.
Well, it makes sense too, but also something that she said earlier as well. I don't think that most women are satisfied with hypergamy, but something she said as well too is, in a way, you are like building the exact types of women I think that you're complaining about on the show.
Yes.
Like you are contributing to the dialogue that makes the woman. That
I disagree.
like
Feminism built those women. I'm adapting.
That's the hand.
It's gonna happen anyway. Destiny.
If feminism did build women, if you're telling me that people can be socially influenced to believe things, then why not push against it a little bit? Because even when you mentioned earlier, you mentioned that experiment about like the genital shit or whatever, and you when you mention that, you mention it in the next breath, you'll mention like some chimpanzee or Evo Psych study. But that genital thing lighting up, that's not a biological thing. That's a socially conditioned thing. You said it yourself. People are answering in ways that are politically correct. They're answering in certain ways because they've been sexually trained in certain ways that makes them believe in certain things. And a lot of those reinforcements come from places like this. Why do women lie about what they're sexually attracted to? Because men shame them for their body counts. Why do men shame them for their body counts? Because people on shows like this will say things like, well, if a woman's got a high body count, she's not worth shit, but the man is worth so much more. Even though the man can step out, knock up 12 other bitches, and then leave you with 2 kids, and you never get child support from for the rest of your life. I just think that's it's another way of like looking at shit, I think.
You can look at it from that. No, you can absolutely look at it from that perspective, but you can also say, well, you can also argue, well, it's ingrained from a biological sense because if a woman is promiscuous, it's very difficult for her to get security from a higher status guy because you'd be like, well, you're a fucking hoe, you're a prostitute, and that's been going on for millennia. Women since the beginning of time that were promiscuous were never respected from society.
So I don't know if men were either. I don't traditionally. I don't think men
wasn't
are
a thing though.
But traditionally, men aren't like super hypergamous either. Like, is there only like 1 or 2 wives at the most
But
in
here's the
some
thing:
society?
only 40% of men have procreated since the beginning of time, versus like 90% of women have procreated. So men can't be. Most men don't have the luxury of being promiscuous.
Most men understand their play. Like most men would be like, you know what, bro? I work at McDonald's. Let me try to holler at this girl at Chick-fil-A. Like that's about it. But a girl Chick-fil-A,
She gonna date Fresh.
she'll find a
Chick-fil-A.
millionaire and he might, you know, hook up with her, whatever. All of a sudden, that's the standard.
That's it. I'll say one thing.
So that's
men fuck who they can, women fuck who they want. At the end of the day, I get what you're saying, but let's be real here. This podcast is not that big. The population itself is fucked up, bro. Women are doing what they do, guys are doing what they do. We're just saying, look, adapt to the environment and do it in your best favor.
I don't disagree with you. You can't walk out. Yeah, so like the hyper blue pill shit that tells you every woman loves you for your personality is obviously bullshit, right? I agree with you, of course.
Right.
But I'm saying you got to be careful at some point because you also push people like further and further into these boxes or like further and further into these areas where they feel like not only is it a description of reality, but it's a way that they have to act and they've got to push it on other people and they've got to force it more and more. And I feel like sometimes it's okay to give like the other end. Like